it, and then we'll get some more people in here because we're gonna get lit tonight. So the final proposition part 2. Part 1 was really cool because we had to make 1 or 2 people come in there and do that. But part 2 I think is going to be even better because now we might have Nathan Oakley dropping by later on, which is going to be kind of awesome. So if you've never heard who Nathan Oakley is, you can go look him up right now. He's on YouTube. He's everywhere. So and then of course we're going to have some information up in the nest. So those people who've never posted in the nest or the Jumbotron or whatever, they'll get to see information that's posted up there. So we're going to keep it kind of regulated to only those speakers that want to come up here, but you got to have at least some following in your profile. If we vet you and you don't have people that are following you or your page is looking like it's active, you're probably not coming up here on the speaking panel. So you got to have at least some people doing something on your profile page. So it's got to look a little bit like there's been some movement on there.
So the funny thing is, in the last space, the first guy, you were like, you don't have anything in his profile. He's the one that actually came up with with the help of Chat GPT, almost came up with a logical proposition. But he was, like I said, he was off base. I could actually read it. He tried to sneak in like 22 premises into the proposition by having like a warrant before it, right? So the warrant had all these like assumptions and stipulations before he even got to the proposition. Like, man, that ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna pull that. Like, I'm gonna sneak a bunch of stuff in and then make the proposition. You got to accept all these things as true, and now my proposition is true. I don't think so. But
yeah, isn't that like?
So here's the funny thing. I was like,
yeah.
He's like, we all agree that the sun is at the Tropic of Cancer. I'm like, no, we don't agree to that. And he's like, well, it's over us, has a zenith spot on Earth, right? And I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, well, how do you tell where that is? And he wouldn't say sun rays are straight. Dude, he couldn't say it. So it's like, dude, if you can't even tell me where the sun is because you don't have straight rays of light, then, like, what are we doing here?
You know what's funny is that's not even true in their paradigm, Indio. What I've heard.
I know that. That's why he was trapped in it. Like, he didn't want to say it. He didn't want to, like, he has to throw part of the globe under the bus one way or the other.
The globe is such a paradox, dude. It's contradiction of terms, ideas. Like, it's a bunch of things that are clashing. You got parallel sun rays, and then you got divergent. Like, there's so many, like the one time you think that the light is coming in straight, so you can use it for like angles measurements and like Eratosthenes. Then you find out that the light rays aren't coming in directly straight. Like, so how is it possible, that you're going to have an argument formulated where it makes logical sense into the same tune of like saying, well, I see the sun, there it is, that's where the sun is. But you can't say that with the globe Earth because that's the apparent sun and it's not the actual sun, according to how they're explaining what they say that where the sun's position is. Because that's, you know what I mean? Like, it's so conflicting.
It gets worse, man. They also got 5 horizons. So it's like, they got the astronomical horizon, the visible horizon, the geometric horizon, what do they call it? The rational horizon.
The nautical. Is it not?
Yeah, then there's another one in there somewhere. Yeah, so they got 5 horizons. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, curved like just whatever the situation is, they can just whip it out like Batman's utility belt. Oh, here, we got this. That solves that problem. We just invent new words, new characteristics, and there you go.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There's some juicy comments out there about people being like, hey, the final experiment is over now. Now we can ditch all these losers like the flat earthers and Will Duffy. They're throwing Will Duffy under the bus.
And Will Duffy?
Yeah, because they hate Will Duffy because he's Christian, dude. And I think they think he's a young earther. So they're like, oh, he's a loser. Flat earthers are losers, but at least they did the final experiment for us, even though we don't know what it proves. Yeah, put that in the B thing or whatever it's called.
So no matter how much he does for the globe, they're still ostracizing him because he's a Christian, young Earth creationist. Wow.
Oh, they hate God more than they hate flat Earth. Most of them just hate flat Earth because they think it associates with God, and that's their motivation. Then you got the other ones, the fanboys, the NASA fanboys. They think we're stopping them from going to Mars, so they have their
Yeah.
agenda. And then there's the ones that are like the tech freaks, and they think like they're not going to have their transhumanist freaking merging cyborg reality if we're around. So
Yeah. Don't forget a special category, Indio, the math wizards. Now the wizards,
the math wizards. That's right.
Yeah, the wizards come in here, and with their mathematical jazz hands, they want to form a construct by which the Earth is an absolute thing in reality. And it's like
it's mathemagical. It's mathematical jazz hands.
Well, see, in their paradigm, Indio, math is reality. You know that, right? That's how they state it when they come in here, and they're firm on it. They're not gonna say that it's not. They're like, dude, if you don't understand, math is everywhere. It is what the makeup of reality is. It's all math, and so they're saying that math is reality. So that's why it's always hard to have a conversation with these people, man. So. Yeah, we're
trying. I heard Mark G doing that. Mark G was, so Percent was pulling his bullshit that he usually pulls. I mean, not that it's actual bullshit. It's just, he's a contrarian. So he's like, hey, frugal electrons are a point. And he's like, I'll show you. And he whips out he was like, I'm going to bed, but I'm going to whip out these formulas. Like, man, I thought it was a wave, right? I thought matter was waves. So, whatever mathematical model they happen to be using at that time, that's reality. These are the mathematical wizards, right? That, I'm going to use this model, and if this model represents reality as some abstract mathematical concept, that's what reality is. But then we'll have this other one, right? So you got the point particle model, and then you have the wave model. If he has to talk about the wave model, now particles and light are waves, because I'm using that model, and that's reality. It's so silly, man. It really is.
Well, flat earther, you didn't give me your model. Where's your model? And that question always comes up a lot with those guys.
Where's your model to reify?
Because whenever you ask them for whatever model they're thinking they have, they're like, "Well, everybody knows that model." Like they start getting a little dodgy with the evidence, right? Like they're not willing to present, and it's frustrating for us because you're like, dude, you think that we need to give you a model, and you don't have one yourself. Now, if you did have one, you'd be able to present it, and we'd be able to see it. Now, a scientific model is one that can give predictions, but if you're going to say that it's one like that, then go ahead and show which one that is. Let's see who we got coming up. We got Benno. He wants to come up. Oh, he's got enough followers. He's got 2K following. Hey, shout out to Benno. Let's see if he wants to speak. Hello, Benno. Welcome to the speaking panel. Benno, are you there?
Yo, how you going?
Pretty good, man. What brings you by to the speaking panel of this wonderful group?
I've been in a couple of your spaces, and I do admit I enjoy listening to your spaces. They're always well thought through, and I'm in two minds about flat Earth. I wouldn't call myself a flat earther, but I absolutely don't buy what it is they're selling us. I'll probably consider myself. Look, I think that the evidence, as far as when it comes to the flat Earth debate, the evidence for me is the fact of what they're not showing you, and I think that being in the year 2024, about to sail into 2025, given the amount of technology and satellites and everything we have around this planet, there's the elephant in the room to me is this: there's not one video uninterrupted, unedited, of Earth in its entirety, right? And I find that alone like a big red flag. Like, they can tell us everything they need to tell us, but the fact that that one video, and you've got how many cameras attached to Artemis 1 and all the other different rockets, Elon's car, you name it, all these things that have gone into like the James Webb Space Telescope, plus the thousands of other launches of other things that go outside Earth's orbit, and not one of them has a camera looking back like that. So for mine, they're obviously trying to hide something. I've pondered this question for many years. I don't mean to diatribe too much straight off the bat, but look, I don't necessarily believe you have to be one or the other. You have to be, it's a pancake or it's a ball, right? I think there's something they're trying to hide. Now, to me, that would either to do with, in a three-dimensional time and space, it's either, I guess, relative to the shape or to the size, and everything in between. I guess I probably would consider myself, if I was to be honest with myself, I think that this planet is a lot bigger than they are telling us. I think just the sheer size of it would be enough to I think the flat Earth debate is almost inspired also by the CIA and deep state, and they want, I'm not saying they want people to think that, but I guess it's I would probably almost go as far as saying it's like misinformation. And I'm not saying that a globe is correct either. I'll probably buy into a hollow Earth before I would a complete ball. But yeah, nice to meet you, and thanks for having me on the panel.
Hey, welcome to the panel, Benno. What we would like to say is just keep listening, and perhaps ask some questions later. I like having conversations with people who are kind of just still gathering information, because everybody's on a different journey, right? So I don't know where you're at with it, but just kind of hear what's going on in here and hear how the people who think that the Earth is a globe respond to us. And then perhaps you can start asking better questions for yourself and probably to us. And then, but what I would like to ask you, if you would like to kind of retweet or repost this space, we're trying to get as many people as we can into this discussion today, because we have a special guest that would be coming on today, possibly if he has some time. We got Nathan Oakley. I don't know if you've ever heard of who he is, but he's coming on here later on. So he'll be joining us, and then, he's going to go into it because he has his own show. So he'll be bringing a lot of his entourage over here. So we'll have him come in here. But we've known Nathan, for years now. So it's kind of a cool thing. He's a cool friend. So his style is very different than most. So he's very upfront and matter of fact. So that's a good thing, right? We want people to be able to have a baseline for reality and not be able to just like think whatever they want, So he's just talking about the basic things, what we all understand right now, but some people deny, which is the fact that there is no measurable curvature on the surface of the Earth. So with that, just so to tide you over, we'll have some conversations with other people in here that want to come up. So if you're in here and you're curious about the topic today, and for probably a few episodes, it's going to be the final proposition part, whatever. Right now it's part 2. You should check out the rest of the episodes that we've done already. We're on episode number 28 of a continuing series on X. So X is the new platform that we're kind of colonizing, if you will. And we're going to be here for the long term. So long as we're not taken off the platform, we'll still be here. But there's a number of us in here. So a shout out to everybody. Just want to say all the people from 24/7 that made 24/7 be what it is, with the arguments, with the people, with the curation of the content for YouTube and Discord, Twitter. You got all kinds of stuff, right? So I'll just say myself, Alpha Veritas, as the host. Indio, who's a co-host, he's also the head guy over there on Discord, 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. We got AI Overlord, who's another elder within our group. I'm saying elder just so you give you guys like a understanding of who's been in here, like with the curation of the 24/7 team and stuff. So AI Overlord. We got, let's see who else is in there. Helioskeptic. He's got on the listening panel. There's a user right now named 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. Now, I want you to know that one right there, Helioskeptic, that's his account. So you can click on it, and it'll give you the 3 links to the servers that we're on. So it'll give you our home server, the 24/7 Flat Earth Discord home server, the one that Indio is the head of. And then we got the politics server, which we have Heretic, who's on the listening panel. That he's the head of that one there. So he runs that on the politics server. It's a room in the politics server. So the politics server is like an 85,000 man server. Where we have like a little space there, like a room. So Heretic's the head of that thing over there. And then we got, I think Heretic's also the head of politics and religion Discord. There's a room that we have on politics and religion. So there's 3 servers there and the rooms that we're in. So you can join us on those. And then, of course, 24/7 also has new up-and-coming people that are like learning their way through the arguments, like Mick B. We also have longtime standing members of like just people who've always been around, like Joanna Smedegaard, who's on the listening panel. Yeah. And so that's it for now. We have a lot more people, but I'm only announcing the ones that are in here right now. But I appreciate everybody who's here. Like, once again, we're awaiting conversations from people who think that the Earth is a globe, and those who have seen what's recently happened within the context of the argument for flat Earth. Some individuals went to Antarctica and they witnessed a 24-hour sun, which, according to an AE map, wouldn't be able to be possible. Now, that was the idea behind the excursion or the trip over there, was so that they can disprove the fact that specific map projection is true, and whereby they would say they're debunking flat Earth. Of course, they didn't do that, but they're only saying that within the context of that reified map. So with that map being out of the way, what they wanted to do, the people who are proponents of the conversation for globe, is do away with the conversation of flat Earth altogether. Let's just stop talking about flat Earth. We don't want to mention it anymore. We don't want to talk about it. Let's put it behind us. Let's all get together and realize the Earth's a globe and no worries, right? So that's what they wanted, but didn't happen. That's not what happened. They've only inflamed the discussion, and they're only what they're gonna do. Hopefully, my hope is if Will Duffy gets his way, he might get this thing on Netflix, which will in turn probably get this conversation to even be more popularized, wherein we can have more discussions with more people and talk to more hearts and minds. So they're doing the promotional side for us, which is a good thing, because even if they think it's going to put us in a bad way, it's not really, because they didn't disprove flat Earth at all. They just were showing how that map is inconsistent with the idea that the 24-hour sun is happening. So,
did they even really show that? I mean, to be honest,
no, I didn't. Yeah, that's what they wanted to do. I don't know if they did show it.
Think about it. Let's say at a Mercator projection or even a physical globe. Do you actually look and see where the sun actually is in any of those maps?
Nope.
So why must the AE map show where the sun is and no other map and no other representation of the Earth shows where the sun is relative to Earth? Just
one of the things,
except for some reason needs that. But say like you've seen the day-night map of time and date. You could represent that like darkness and light on the AE map. It would probably look something like even with a 24-hour sun, would look something like a bell curve with a ring, kind of, right? And it would kind of oscillate or something, like if you ran it through time. So I don't even know how it debunked that map, quite honestly, because the sun position isn't represented on that map. That's not how we represent the sun's position. Well, an elevation angle, take it from the surface of the Earth, right? And that assumes, a flat surface.
I was just going to say, Indio, I do remember, I don't know who made this, but there was an argument about the sun's path. And a lot of people on the side of flat Earth were saying that the sun moves around in a corkscrew style, concentric to the North Pole. And it moves outward, like corkscrewing outward, like spiraling outward. So there have been arguments for that. So the map itself doesn't show that because it's not showing the sun's path. But that was inferred by some of the people, the proponents, who say that the AE map is the correct map to say that that's how the continents are for the flat Earth. And then if the sun's moving about overhead, then it would move in this way. And I remember seeing a GIF that was put up in 24/7.
Yeah, I've seen it. Right.
Yeah, the corkscrew.
The surface of the Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what the argument was.
Well, the reason that was created because I guess that's a very old GIF that goes back to like 2016 or maybe 2015. But that was created. My understanding is so you can explain how the sun has an inner and outer path, right? The Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Right, so they're basically trying to shoehorn flat Earth into a globe paradigm, right? So you take the assumption that all the globe claims are true, and then you try to shoehorn a flat Earth into it. Is what people tried to do back in 2015, 2016. But as time went on, we realized a lot of the stuff they said, right? The globe claims, if you go out in reality, it's not actually out there. You know
right.
what I mean? So like, I
don't think I ever
today that showed in Nome, Alaska on the December 23rd sunrise and sunset. So
in Alaska?
In Nome, Alaska, which is way the hell up there. No,
that's really
I looked on time and date and it said
that's interesting.
There should be a sunrise. But then I looked at the dates so the solstice should be the shortest day of the year, and then I looked on time and date, and shortest day of the year wasn't on the 23rd; it was on the 20th. So I'm like, okay, like a lot of these things, this model, none of this stuff is actually verified. Like actually,
that's an anomaly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's another anomaly, right? So it's like none of these things, these quote unquote models, a lot of them have not been verified against reality, like sunrise, sunset.
What?
And nowhere.
Yeah, what parallel?
And nowhere in the government actually records this stuff.
India, what parallel is Nome, Alaska at? What
60,
is it at?
63 or 60 something.
Is it well beyond the boundary of seeing the sun in any way? Like if it were on the globe, like putting it on the globe.
Time and date said you should see the sun. Time and date said you should see the sun. It should be something like 4 hours of daylight. But
can I ask? Okay. I come from the UFO community, right? And I've been entrenched in that, I guess, community for quite a while. But my question to you guys is: do you guys hope for some sort of disclosure, as opposed to like it being thrust upon us, the pleb layman of planet Earth, to try and work these things out? And what I have noticed lately, also, since that guy you referred to went to Antarctica, who was touted as a flat earther, and then he admitted, et cetera, et cetera. It's almost like that's another tactic like the deep state used to try and promote, it's like it's a gaslighting type style of psyop. And I see that, but there has been a notable uptick on my feed of that particular gentleman who went down to Antarctica to basically prove that. I've noticed the increase in the social media side of things. So, but my question is, do you guys hope for some sort of disclosure? Because I know a lot of people in the UFO are waiting for and hoping for some sort of disclosure. Do you believe that will encompass that, I guess?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. India.
I can tell you why we're not waiting for disclosure. It's not hidden. Right?
That's correct. That's correct.
That's why you can just go outside. It's not hidden. No one's hiding it. In most
disclosure. A disclosure would be an unveiling, right?
Well, let me bring up one more point, Big. Most people don't know anything, right? Only 27 people claim to have seen the globe, like a whole globe, Earth. The Apollo astronauts, right, from outer space. So the people that went to the ISS, they're barely above the surface of the Earth. So what do they know? They can only see 3% of the Earth from where they say they are. So who's going to disclose what? Nobody knows anything. There's a bunch of people that believe shit, but they don't know anything. Whereas with the UFO thing, they say that they've got spaceships and bodies and all this shit, right? It's a totally different thing.
Yeah, I agree with Indio. And what I was going to say is it's an unveiling. So a disclosure is an unveiling of something. But when you're dealing with the Earth, it's already apparent. There's no need to unveil anything. It's already there. Like you can't talk about something that needs to be unveiled when it's practically there. Like it's and when you travel over the surface, when you do anything dealing with the surface, like you don't have to wait for an unveiling of if it is or is not curved. You can already see that it's not. So there doesn't need to be any disclosure because what you probably, maybe it's a little malformed. I think what you mean is them to actually state the truth of the nature of reality versus them tell you a narrative of what they've been saying so far. I think that's probably where you were going with that versus it being a like, I know what you mean. I guess everybody understands what you mean, if that makes any sense.
All I mean is they teach us lies. Like we've been indoctrinated with what was not truth. And I think the hardest part is unlearning all of that. And I think that with this disclosure, there is exactly what you just said is exactly what I meant. And that is essentially, and I do believe that again, for me, the elephant in the room is there's no video of Earth in its entirety. And given the amount of satellites, et cetera, we should have that. That would end this debate in a heartbeat. Yet, for some weird reason, I don't see anyone asking for that or anyone pushing for that or, that to me is just very odd as well.
Yeah, there's a I don't know, Indu, do you want to answer that? Because it sounds like
I want to bring up something which is related. Have you ever have you ever looked into like what NASA says about whether you can see stars from outer space in outer space? Have you ever looked that up? And you get like 100 answers. Nobody can get their story straight. And like, how can you not get your story that like, oh, I went to space, I didn't look at the stars. Like, who the hell is gonna believe? I don't believe that. Like, why wouldn't you look at the stars? Shouldn't that be the first thing you do? Yeah, I went to space, man, and you should see what the stars look like. They're amazing, right? I live in a city with lots of light pollution. That'd be the first thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at the stars, right? Because plus, people that say they go into the wilderness and like where there's no light pollution, like way in the desert or way out in the, they're like, oh my god, the stars are crazy. They look amazing. These dudes went to space and they don't know what the stars look like. One dude said it was all black. One dude said it was all white. One dude like, there's a different story. Actually, if you go on my YouTube channel, there's a video of a guy. It's like a live stream. He's not a flat earther. He's a globe earther. He's been asking NASA for what the stars look like from outer space since the 1970s. In the 70s, he was mailing them letters, and he was getting the runaround back then, what the stars look like in space. Yeah, up until now. So for whatever it is, 50 years, he's been getting the runaround whether you can see stars in space. That right there should be a big red flag. There's no videos of a rocket going from Earth to orbit, right? A continuous video. Hey, we launched. This is a full video. We launched. We went all the way around the Earth, came back to where we started. Like a full video of a full orbit. There's none of that. And like the video, like from space, a continuous video, they could shoot a rocket, right? And just drop the camera on the face of the moon, pointed straight up. And because in their paradigm, the moon is phase locked, tidally locked to point at the Earth, you wouldn't even have to aim the camera. You would just have to aim it up, and it would face the Earth constantly forever and ever and ever. And you could have a continuous 24/7 stream forever. Well, why don't we have that? It'd be super simple. Instead, people want to launch garlic bread on a hot air balloon. You have anything to say about that, Benno? About the stars or anything?
I absolutely agree with everything you just said. And they're the questions I asked. You look at the photo of Earth and the moon, the Earth looks fucking tiny. I mean, the moon looks bigger when on a clear night from anywhere in the world, I'm sure, than what the Earth does from that picture. And every video will, because I've had this argument before with folks and they go, oh, here's a video. And I've said, please just give me one link to one video that shows Earth in its entirety. And if you look at like the rocket launch from Musk and whatnot, they're super crispy, clear videos. That's good. And then I've had the argument that the rocket would spin too fast, and et cetera, et cetera. That's a load of bullshit. That's not the case. As you'll see by watching Elon's videos of them going up into the stratosphere and then coming down again. And that's amazing. It's all well and good. But again, that there's no video of Earth in its entirety. There's that one famous photo of, I forget which satellite, or no, it wasn't a satellite, it was a space probe looking back at Earth and whatnot. But again, there's given the technology and where we're at in this day and age, absolutely, that video does exist, would exist on multiple different like satellites and whatnot. Again, how they use a fisheye lens. Like there's the evidence that, like, people say there's no evidence for one way or the other, right? And I kind of agree with that. But the fact they go out of their way to hide it and not give it to us, that in itself is like the biggest red flag. That's the thing that makes you stop and think, well, hang on, there's something more here than what they're telling us. But yeah, and then again, like when I've had the debate with other people, like they've said, oh, here's a video. And the only link I've ever been sent is basically photographs of Earth that are stitched together to make a video, right? Like a flicking 100 pages, like with a stick man at the bottom.
Yeah, there's always an edit.
Video,
there's always an edit. I want like a continuous shot with no edits, right? You launch the rocket, you film it, you don't cut away, you don't cut to a graphic, you don't cut to some other shit. Rocket launch, continuous to a full orbit. Okay, what's so hard about that? Like, seriously.
They won't do that. They won't give us that. And Antarctica is the other spot. Is that thing has been like blurred out on Google Maps. Like, again, I think, why would they do that? And for me, a logical answer would be, well, you can picture the Earth being like a again, I believe in a hollow Earth, right? I believe there's a big hole in the bottom of the Earth. I've got reasons why I believe that. But essentially, you look at the Earth like a soccer ball. You know, the soccer ball, like we're all like in our pen. And I think the Earth is a lot bigger than what they tell us. And perhaps there's like an ice wall that surrounds like our little patch before we move on to the next patch. And if you look at the older maps, and I've looked at some, flat Earth theory and whatnot, and it kind of it aligns with what I'm saying now. There's other lands on this planet. We share this planet probably with other beings. Probably goes very deep. I think they're all interrelated somehow. It makes sense that they're interrelated, but I think we're just a little patch on a soccer ball, and there's a bunch of other patches. And that would make sense that they're trying to hide that or keep that from us.
Well, I mean, you can consider the like Hindu cosmology, where they thought like reality was a bunch of stacked planes, but they weren't separated by like, I'm sure you've heard of it, the astral plane, right? So things are separated by. This is speculation. I'm not saying I believe any of this. I'm just saying that there's alternate views of what reality is other than globe and flat Earth. It's more complex than that. And here's something you should look at, though. The Falcon Heavy launch, where remember how they launched the car into space? Remember that? The Tesla? So that launch, originally in the live stream, it had a split screen with cameras on each of the boosters, and the camera feed was showing the same video. They fucked up or something, and they were showing the same video as if it was. YouTube let them go back and edit that video, re-upload it, and it still shows it as if it was a live stream, even though they cut shit out, composited video into it, and they kept all the likes, they kept all the comments, they kept all the views, they kept everything. Now, YouTube don't let you do that. It's not possible on YouTube. If you live stream, that's it. You don't get to edit the video. For some reason, SpaceX got to edit the video, ex post facto, and keep everything. So that right there is suspicious on its face. Never mind the fact they put a car in space, which Musk said was just an ordinary car. Just an ordinary car. It's got air in the tires. It's got foam seats. It's got foam polyester. The fucking car would have exploded from all the dissolved gases in the components of the car. So, like, when you create ultra high vacuum on Earth, you have to use special components. You can't just like build a ultra high vacuum and put it together and be like, yeah, cool. It's not how it works. You have outgassing. You have cold welding of surfaces. They didn't do anything to compensate for any of these. They just like, oh, we just put a car on a rocket and launched into space. Yay! That's not how it works, according to them, right? So this is how this so-called space war works, right? They just update it, change the story, all the stuff from like 5 years ago. If they said, oh, you got to do this to go to space, they just roll that stuff back and act like they never said that in the first place. And it's really funny because back in the day, they'd just say, oh, space travel is hard because you have to worry about all this other stuff. We have to worry about this and that and the other thing. We have to engineer it. So this is why it's so expensive. We can't do it. Now, Musk is like, oh, all that stuff, like all those physics that we complained about, those don't even exist anymore. We got new physics. We can land rockets upright. We can do this. We can do that. We can do all these things that we couldn't do before for less money, which is crazy.
But you're still not going through the dome. I mean, I don't buy the excuse that, like, you know, I don't believe we landed on the moon. I believe if we did, we landed in a way, and that's hidden from us. Okay, I got my tin hat on. I get it, but
no
I
one
don't
went. Believe me, dude, no one went to the moon.
And furthermore, the excuse.
I would bet my life that nobody went to the moon.
Yep, same here. Yeah. Facts.
But the fact that they've lost the way of the technology, so we've lost that in an interview with the NASA employee saying we lost the technology on how to go back. It's like, you serious? Like. Yeah, and the footage that was originally wiped over as well, so that can't be accessed. Like, there's so many flags to say, hey, we're like being fed bullshit. That absolutely I agree with.
Look, you ever seen the photo where there's so it's Neil Armstrong. It's one astronaut taking a photo of another astronaut, right? And the complaint used to be, oh, he's taking a photograph and the camera's on his chest. How is that guy lower than the camera? And he's like, well, everybody missed the obvious. His reflection is in the visor. So if you look in the visor, his reflection in the visor, you can see the shadow of one of the lem's legs on his body. It don't go on his body. That's the problem. It goes between his legs and out the other. Now, you got to think, this is a shadow. It goes between his legs and out the other side, but the shadow doesn't touch his body, like he was pasted into the image.
And the shadows have different angles as well. So one on the
but the different angles can be perspective, right? Yes, some of them have impossible angles, but we know it is impossible to have a shadow go between your legs and out the other side without touching your body, right? So it goes between your legs. So you see the shadow running up between your legs into your crotch. Someone's taking a picture from the other side of you
pause.
And sees the shadow over your head, right? Extend past your head on the ground, but none of the shadow touches your body at all. That's fucking impossible. You can't.
That's cap, bro.
It can't happen.
Yeah, for mine, I think, okay, just into that, like if you had, just imagine two pieces of timber suspended above your head, and there was a gap between them, and you're standing between the gap, and that would explain the shadow. But what gets me is that
there is no gap. But that's the thing. There is no gap. There is no. It's the leg, and then the leg is connected through like a little armature, and that leg shadow is going between his legs, and you can see behind his head part of the shadow connected to the freaking limb, right? So you basically, it looks like, dude, you just have to look at it yourself. So it's the photo of one astronaut taking a photograph of another astronaut. Zoom in on the visor and look at the freaking image. I'll let you figure it out yourself, man.
I'll check it out, Indy, for sure.
Yeah, I'll actually post it because I actually made a post on this a long time ago. So I'll post a link to that in the purple pill, and you can check it out, dude.
Hey, Mickey, let me get co-host, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna, and I'll give you co-host, but we're gonna as soon as Nathan comes on, we'll pass the buck off to him.
All right, sure. That's fine, bro. That's fine. Let's cook, man. Indio's in here. Holy smokes, dude.
Yeah, I want to see if I want to see if I can get Benno to think about the topic of the space. That's important, Benno. Let's see if we can challenge you right now on thinking about this. So you heard about the final experiment. I don't know if you may or may not. I think we talked about it. We talked about it when you first joined.
Can you recap it just quickly?
So a couple of individuals on both sides of the camp, so you globe Earth and flat earthers, went to Antarctica to go see if there was a 24-hour sun over there, the midnight sun. It just recently happened. They went to Antarctica like not even but a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I do know. Sorry. Yeah, okay, now that you mentioned that same guy. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
They've used one dude to try and prove to the world the Earth is, like, round.
All right. So we're asking people randomly, right, like to come into the space. If you think the Earth's a globe, is there any way that you could form in a logical syllogism how the 24-hour sun proves that the Earth is a globe? Now think about it, how it should be constructed, because premise, conclusion, right? So there are two premises have to follow that they're going to give the sound reasoning for why the conclusion is drawn. So how is it possible that you could form a logical statement or syllogism that the Earth is a globe from seeing a 24-hour sun? Now just think about it and see if you can do it within a premise style conclusion. So I don't know if you want me to just go into a little bit what that means, or do you want me to give you one to kind of
please
start?
Yeah, like I get their model, right? I get the heliocentric model where it says basically Antarctica, its orbit of the sun would reflect a 24-hour sun, because essentially for 6 months of the year. But I mean, again, sorry.
It's basically a conclusion that logically follows, kind of like a premise using a modus ponens. So structure is if P then Q. P is true, so Q is true. Thus, the syllogism is valid. So if we're trying to draw a valid syllogism, right? So let me just give you an example. How about that? So the example would be like premise one: if the Earth is a globe, the axial tilt causes a 24-hour daylight in polar regions during the summer, right? Antarctic and the Arctic. Premise two would be 24-hour daylight is observed in Antarctica and the Arctic during the summer. Conclusion: therefore, the observation is consistent with the Earth being a globe. Premise, conclusion.
You only have to fudge the premise of X and Y, to get the same outcome of the conclusion, right?
Yeah. Did you hear the way the structure was for premise, conclusion? So I'll say it again, for everybody who's listening. So I'm going to parse them out. Premise one: if the Earth is a globe, the axial tilt causes 24-hour daylight in polar regions during summer, right? So now premise one is if the Earth is a globe, the axial tilt causes 24-hour daylight in polar regions during summer. Premise two: 24-hour daylight is observed in Antarctica and the Arctic in summer, in their summer times. Conclusion: therefore, this observation is consistent with the Earth being a globe. That's premise, conclusion. Now, that was an example, and we can dive into that mere example, and kind of go through it. But I think now that I've given you kind of an example, this is what we're asking the people who think that the Earth is a globe to actually do, with the idea that you can use what I've said. If you think what I've said was something valid, it also needs to be sound. So having something valid and sound it needs to follow. So a syllogism that's sound if it is valid and the premises are true. So you know what I'm saying? So the soundness of the premise needs to follow. It's not just it being valid. This making sense, Benno?
Absolutely. Just a question on that. Like, what do you guys ever discuss what their motivation is? I mean, like, why? Like, because I go straight to the 5 whys. Like, what purpose does it serve, or like, and I guess my follow-up question to that would be, what do you think actually the Earth looks like? And why were they?
Yeah.
Why those white space?
Yeah, it's great. I just want to. I don't want to detract from what I'm doing right now, and because this is going out not just to you, me showing you how to do this, but it's going out to a listening audience because we're on YouTube right now and we're in Spaces. So everybody who's listening should be able to think about what I've just said, because both premises that they need to be true if the reasoning is valid. Both premises, once again, need to be true if the reasoning is valid. Then the argument is sound. So if it's possible, because the title of the space is called The Final Proposition, Part 2, because we already did Part 1. But I'm going in depth a little more as to why this needs to happen. We got Slave Squatch that wants to come up here. Let's see if we can do some vetting on him. But if we have the soundness of the syllogism, then it follows that the validity of it is also going to be able to be extracted, because we know that the premises are true and valid. That makes it sound.
I think there's more than one premise, though. Also, I think it's not just. I would argue that it was like shape, angle of rotation, distance from star. How many premises can you doctor, so to speak? I think there are multiple equations that sort of come into the equation.
Yeah, it's following a modus ponens structure. So if it's just a logical statement to say that how they've extracted the 24-hour sun, giving any indication that the Earth is a globe, not that it's not flat, that it's a globe. So this is what the 5 whys. We can dive into that a little bit later, Benno. But right now we're really wanting the crowd to actually get engaged with a logical statement for the final proposition. It's good to have banter. Not saying it's not, but it's even more so better to stay on topic. We really want those globers out there to think about, because they think right now they're patting each other on the back. They're doing victory laps. They're gyrating their hands back and forth and saying that we won, and all kinds of crazy things are happening right now. They're saying game over, flat earthers. They think that something has happened, that they've won something, but we're trying to ask them, what is it that you proved? So is it the globe earth that you proved? And this is the reason for the final proposition. It's a rebuttal to the final experiment.
I'd also I want to bring something up. I mean, we can ask, why would they lie, what the motive is, all these things. But ultimately, there's going to be very little as far as conclusions we can draw from that, because of speculation. If we knew why they lied, we'd be them, right? We'd be with them. We'd be on their side if we knew. And ultimately, it's just speculating about what human beings would or wouldn't do. We can't possibly know. All we know is they are, because we can go out and say, hey, they said this. Let's check reality against what they said. Oh, reality don't match. Why would they say that? Now we can speculate about why they would say that. Most of the time, it's they heard it from somebody else.
All right, I'm gonna pass it off to Slav Squatch in just a second. I will tell everybody here, welcome to 24/7 Flat Earth. I'm going to plug the space. I'm going to do this numerous times throughout the space so that get everybody acclimated with what we do here. 24/7 Flat Earth, episode number 28, titled The Final Proposition, Part 2. Shout out to Indio 007, the co-host of the space right now, and also Creation Bear. What's up? We're giving him a shout out because he came up with the final proposition, which we're now actually starting to use in this space, and we're going to be doing a little bit more content with that. But we want to stay on topic, fellas that are in here, and ladies. We want to stay on topic about this specific thing that the space is all about. So if you have contributions to the topic, we welcome that. If you want to divert to talk about other things, that's great. I'm not going to say that let's shut that down or whatever, but always remember, we want to be on topic. Because if the people who think the Earth's a globe think they're victorious, we want to hear how they're victorious. So now we're going to be holding them to their claim that the 24-hour sun has proved the Earth as a globe, or that it's disproved the flat Earth. Either one is fine with me, so long as the logical structure follows and is sound. All right. So with that being said, welcome to the panel, Slav Squatch. I'm going to pass it over to you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try to follow that logical exercise you were doing.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so the sun shines light, or the sun travels and shines on a portion of this world, and then that's observable for a portion of the day. So the sun shines on a portion of this world for a portion of the day, and that's observed.
Okay, is that premise 1?
Yeah.
Okay, what's premise 2?
The sun shines on a portion of this world all day, or 24/7, like all the time, and that's observed. But they're two different portions. I got to do like portion A and then portion B then.
Okay, so you got 2 premise, and you're gonna do your conclusion.
Yeah. So therefore, there is a part of this world that the sun shines 24/7, and there's a part of this world where it shines during the day only. And that does not matter upon its shape.
I'm sorry, did you say that does not matter about its shape? Okay, so is this conclusion wrapping it up to tell us that the Earth is not flat or that it's a globe? Which one of those?
No, this conclusion shows that it is flat, or that that it's not a globe.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what side of the argument are you with right now? Are you on the side of the Earth being a globe, or that the Earth is indeed flat and stationary?
As far as it's observable, I believe it's flat.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you're basically just reaffirming the fact that what we state, that it is observed, it's navigated, and it's measured that way. So that's fine with us. I mean, we're not disagreeing with that.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they proved anything with the Antarctica thing.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's important? I think most people who think the Earth's a globe that have been doing this argument for a while would also say that. They're like, because I asked a couple of them. I think Peter's in here right now. I'll let him speak for himself.
Our simp, yeah, he's our simp. Yeah.
But they would say that they didn't prove anything when they went there. And I'll give you the reason why, because I'm gonna try to steelman them, but they were saying like, because they're just telling you what you already know about the globe. Like they're not proving anything more. They're just affirming it.
Yeah.
Like duh, it's a globe. Duh. Yeah. So that's what they're saying. So they're both sides are saying they're not doing anything that's relevant to groundbreaking or awe inspiring or anything that's like, oh, they went and saw the 24-hour sun. Like if people have been in the argument for a while on both sides, they would say they really didn't do anything that's like extraordinary or special. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, our model of the sun, our sun might not travel 24 hours everywhere on this place, like just like their model. It doesn't mean that we have the exact model where they do. It's just that they didn't disprove anything, and they're like, gotcha, and like we're like, no, like there's like literally you're all retards.
Yeah, facts. It's a PR stunt, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing it's going to do is just get more people to talk about it. But I'm asking anybody who's out there, listen, if you're listening right now in this space, or if you're listening to this as a recording, and you're coming through, you could drop it in the comments or tag me at AV_overdrive. That's my handle on X. Just tag me and tell me your logical syllogism with premise, conclusion. And we needed to state how you can affirm that the validity and the trueness of the Earth being a globe or disproving flat Earth can follow soundness, so we can understand that because it's valid and true, it's sound. So we need to see in what form you can do that so we can understand how you know that the Earth is affirmed as a globe by a 24-hour sun. That's what the topic of the space is, guys. So, I don't know. Did you want me to bring Peter up, guys? I don't know.
Hell no.
Talking to the co-host. So,
Bro is roasted, bro. We're good.
No, you don't.
Bro.
You don't have to listen. It's just I'm asking you guys. I don't care either way, man. Like, I'm just here for the popcorn.
Nah, man.
I want to see the sparks fly.
We're not that bored. Just keep cooking, Biggie.
We can talk to the concaver who was in here the other day and his hair was on fire.
Lord.
That would be more productive.
All right, let's bring him up. Let me bring the concaver up here.
Yeah. I went to Flattober in 2020 or 2021. I forget. It was during COVID. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. There's some cool people to meet there.
Yeah.
We got Concave Earther coming up. As soon as he connects,
here we go.
He's going to be dropping bombs, dude, like knowledge bombs on everybody here. It's going to wreck the panel. So, and from what I heard, now I'm just taking a jab at Concave, but I heard that Concave Earth is the third stage of enlightenment because you go from the ground level, which is globe, you move up to flat Earth, that's the second level, and then the highest tier is concave. You got to be the top of the top, the creme de la creme, the best of the best.
The crazy of the crazy.
With honors, like...
Look, inward, grasshopper.
I'm telling you, man. So, I don't know. I tried it. Hold on, Concave. I try to give you the speaking role, and it doesn't allow you for some reason. Try it again. Oh, there he is. All right, Concave... Let's see, Concave Earther?
And
Concave
here we go.
What's up, guys?
All right. We're just having a conversation about the topic of the space, and it's the final proposition. We're giving this to anybody who wants to come up and speak about it. Is there any way that you could form a logical statement that viewing the 24-hour sun proves a globe or disproves the flat Earth?
Yeah, I definitely think it disproves the flat Earth.
Okay. Can you form that in a logical statement, Concave?
Sure. Now, if you could picture the flat Earth map, right? So let's say you're at 270 degrees on this flat Earth map, so that would be the leftmost quadrant. Now, if you were to go all the way to the opposite side at 90 degrees, according to the flat Earth map, basically Antarctica goes all around 360 degrees. Is that correct, or do you guys not believe that?
Are you talking about the flat Earth? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just trying to get an idea on what you guys.
Why are you asking us questions, though?
Because I'm trying to understand what you guys believe. Because I remember last time I was talking about general consensus flat Earth stuff, and you guys were saying, "Well, we don't believe that." So I'm just trying to get an idea. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything.
No, I'm just saying it doesn't matter what we believe. You said you had a logical statement that it disproves the flat Earth. So
right, I'm trying to get a confirmation.
All iterations, no matter what we believe, we should just prove them all.
What Indio said, Concave, basically is just make the statement that void of asking us any questions, just make the statement how it disproves of. So I'll give you an example. Is that cool?
Yeah,
Can I do that?
I got it. All right, let me take it. I got it.
All right, premise, conclusion. Can you do it that way?
So if
2 premises, 1 conclusion. So premise 1 would be what? Premise 2 would be what? And then conclusion is what? Premise, conclusion.
Well, the premise is if Antarctica was surrounding us 360 degrees, it would be literally impossible to see the sun 24 hours a day.
Okay, premise 2.
I don't have a second premise to that. I mean, it's pretty straightforward right there. I mean, if you're standing at one point on Antarctica, how are you going to see the sun 24 hours a day if, in fact, it was flat? You know, I mean, I'm looking at the map right now, and there's no possible way. You know.
Okay, so does that map?
Flat Earthers to present a map that makes this work, or can you tell me through the celestials how this could somehow?
But concave.
They never have anything. You know.
Here's the deal though. You're asking.
Lack of understanding is not a proof.
Yeah.
But okay, help me understand though. You don't have anything. Is my point. Like no flat earther has ever presented anything logical or concise about it.
Okay, so, you can't even you shouldn't be talking about logic because you can't even make a logical syllogism.
But yet I have a model that works, so that's funny. Yeah, I mean, the sun works on my model, but you can't tell me how it works on yours. So yeah, that's funny.
Fine. That's fine. That's called an appeal to utility fallacy. So who gives a shit if you have a model that works? Lots of models work.
Yeah, a lot of things work concave, and you can't even tell me how it works. It's just funny.
Concave. Before your hair goes back on fire, dude. The only thing I really wanted to know.
Hold on, I want to put something up, though. Whether a model works or not doesn't make it true. We have lots of models that work to make predictions of things which aren't true. We do it all the time.
But flat Earth doesn't. It's like that's my point. Flat Earth doesn't. How does the 24-hour sun work on a flat Earth? You can't provide shit.
Okay,
it's kind of pathetic, honestly.
Look. No, I don't care about your side comments, right? So, how is the current sun position predicted? What do we use? If I want to know the sun azimuth, I want to know where the sun is above, like what its azimuth and elevation angle is, when sunrise is and when sunset is. How do we predict that right now? Humanity. How is that predicted right now?
What do you mean? It is where it is. It goes from pole to pole.
We want to know where it is. How do we predict that?
Where is it on a flat Earth is what I'm asking you.
Yeah, what do we use to predict that?
What are you getting at?
Why don't you just answer the question? What do we use?
I don't know what you're asking me. What are you trying to get at?
Okay, the model you say works. How do you predict where the sun is on a concave Earth? Can you put the equation in the chat?
Can you? For your flat Earth?
Yeah, I can, actually.
Here.
Okay, explain it to me.
It's called the equation of time. It's observer-centric. It has nothing to do with
I'm glad you brought up time. Let's get into time, because here's a major disproving factor in flat Earth. Let me speak.
Are you going to just talk over me? Do you think that's going to make you right? So
how fast does the sun move on a flat Earth?
I don't fucking know. I didn't measure it.
Oh, but you're telling me you got all these measurements. You don't even know how fast it's supposed to go in your own theory?
I didn't say that. Now you're straw manning. I wish I could spend a whole day without hearing.
Why are you even talking? Can I talk and then you could rebuttal after? Let me get some stuff off.
No. You haven't actually answered anything I said.
I'm not answering you. I'm telling you why it's not flat. I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm trying to state my case.
Yeah, you're yapping, bro.
And you're real loud. Your mic's real hot.
So I asked you. You said the concave Earth has a model which predicts the 24-hour sun. I want to see that model.
I could show you it. You want me to send stuff on the comments? Sure.
I want the equations because I want to know the sun azimuth and elevation angle and how long it's up.
I'm about to give you an equation right now. If you shut up.
Post it in the chat, dude. Post it in the
Damn, bro.
All right, Can I talk now? Or are you just going to keep talking over me?
No, you can post your evidence.
I thought I had the floor to talk. Are you just going to keep talking over me?
You can post your evidence. The model you said you have. You don't get.
Okay, I will post my evidence, but right now I'm talking.
And you can shut the fuck up till you do that.
All right, I'm moving on. I'll send that, and I'll send a bunch of things, but let me get to my next point. Fair enough?
Yeah, it better be equations where we can predict the sun's azimuth and elevation angles.
Okay,
because you don't know how that's done. You don't know how it's done.
Anyway.
It doesn't use a concave Earth, it doesn't use a globe, and it don't use a flat Earth. It's observer-centric. So when
anyway,
so when you look in the sky and you see the celestial equator, we predict the sun's position relative to that, and it's observer-centric. It has nothing to do with what you're standing on.
You don't even know what I stand on because you don't even let me fucking explain it. So get over yourself.
It doesn't matter what you're standing on. It doesn't matter in your opinion.
Because you're full of ego and you don't let me talk. You don't even try and understand anything other than the flat Earth.
Talking about me. Why don't you actually address what I'm saying? The substance of what I'm saying. Why can't you address that instead of talking about me like a bitch?
Oh, dude, you're a bitch.
Like
You're afraid to let me talk.
Good one,
shut
bro.
the fuck up.
Good one, bro. You're yapping, bro. Relax.
Yeah, calling me a bitch is a good one, right? The real mature. Anyway, next point. Earth's orbital speed is 1,040 miles per hour. In heliocentrism, that means the Earth is What do you mean, prove it? Is there not 24 hours in a day?
The Earth doesn't
Are you
move.
stupid?
Relax.
Are you fucking stupid? There's 24 hours in a day. Are you going to deny that too?
That
You
doesn't mean the
fucking
Earth is
retard.
moving, idiot.
Day, but where'd you get 1,000 miles from a 24-hour day?
Do the fucking math on it. And shut the fuck up and let me finish my fucking sentence.
Man, why are concavers also
I'm
triggered?
asking you
Because this guy's retarded. Are you guys fucking feds?
Yeah,
Bro.
so asking you to substantiate your claims is retarded. That's crazy, dude. Where did
the
you
feds
get 1,040 from? How did you calculate that?
Yep.
How did you measure that?
The only feds ask if they're feds.
Yeah, the feds got him tapped or something. I think he's paranoid. He's a bit paranoid.
He dropped down in the listener. I don't know if you guys dropped.
Loser.
So
No, I think he
would
left
need
on
a
his own.
radius. So you would need a radius for that. And where'd you get your radius? Especially on a concave Earth. What is it? The radius from the center of the black sun?
Oh shit.
You're like serious. He doesn't know how they got to 2,040 miles per 2,040. That comes from the circumference of the Earth at the equator, right? And then you have a 24-hour day. You divide it, right? And that comes a certain miles per hour, tangential speed. If you don't even know how these numbers, where they come from, you're just talking out your ass.
Dude, why are concavers all so bricked like this? They're all crazy, bro. Miggy said they're the third tier. Yeah, third tier crazy, dude. Holy smokes, bro.
No, they're all just Glovers trolling and trying to legitimize fucking it's like underproof flat Earth is ridiculous by being even more ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm
just trying to get the
require some acting skills that I don't know if they have, but I don't know. Maybe you're right.
I'm just trying to get them to actually get a logical statement for the 24-hour sun.
Right,
why can't I even get that, man?
Apparently, a logical statement is just saying it's impossible, and just saying it's enough.
But you're not letting me speak. I just need to speak. If I could speak, and like, dude, you failed at giving a logical syllogism. You failed miserably. You didn't do it.
So
why are we gonna let you speak?
Like, no, we're not. AI's here.
Well, he said he had a working model. I want to see it. I don't want to see diagrams and pretty pictures and cartoons. I want to see your working model that predicts where the sun is.
I've got a joke about a working model in a nautical horizon.
Talking about mermaids again?
Oh, man, come on. I've been working on this joke for a week. So, what do you call a sex line operator getting up in the morning?
A horizon.
No, a naughty call.
Yes, naughty call horizon.
You sly dog.
Oh, man.
Oh my god, that was epic.
Sucks.
He said he worked on it for 2 weeks.
Man, we were cooking. So when is Nathan about to pull up? Is he asleep right now?
Yeah, he's asleep, dude. We gotta go wake him up. Nah.
If he doesn't show up, I'm going to spank him on live cam.
But like, what time is it where he's in like? What time is it over there? Is it morning time?
They're 5 hours ahead of my time, so it'd be about 8. Gonna be 8. 7:30 right now.
Nathan, has he done this X panel before? Would this will be his first celeb appearance?
Nope.
Ooh. Okay.
He's going to be at a disadvantage, so maybe Peter will be able to get the best.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right. Bro.
Aaron, you summoned him out.
To this goofball, man. Shit.
This is gonna get Indio irritated.
Let's just keep cooking.
What is?
Oh,
what,
here
Peter?
we go.
No, he's all right.
Here we go. Peter's a simp. Dude is more dedicated to flat Earth than the flat earthers. Facts.
Hey guys, is Oakley coming in later?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Eat, sleep, flat Earth, repeat.
I don't want to get booted before he comes, so I'll mute.
Are you gonna put on your special aftershave?
Bro, why are you even here, man?
You know,
like, don't you have better? Where are your friends at?
Oh my God,
hey,
dude,
creation,
it's on.
I only talk to alpha males, okay? So shut up. Alpha, I'm gonna go on mute.
Right here. So, bro, man. Bro, we gotta set up we gotta set up like a boxing event or something. Y'all be talking
that means
so
alpha
much
and Indio. They're the alpha males.
Yeah, man,
right?
I've cooked you.
You need to know your place.
I've cooked you more times than I can count.
Yeah, you
bro.
did.
Just
you
relax, bro, dude. Oh, we've seen you on camera. You look roasted, bro.
Peter.
Like, you're nobody, bro.
Thank you for recognizing that I'm actually a cyborg and not a male. I appreciate it.
You're definitely not a male.
I'm not an alpha male, man. Dude, cook my PFP, dude. I'm Chinese. We don't even use alpha.
Hey, micro peanuts does not exclude you from being an alpha male.
Put your boner away. It's gonna be all right, man. Go dye your hair black or something, man.
And by my count, Pomade's undefeated.
Old ass,
isn't he?
So if I'm Chinese,
he has never made any claim. He cannot be defeated.
Oh, I make a claim. Earth to sweat. There you go. Peter, you were making.
It's not a claim. That's the default position.
You were making fun of my logical syllogism. So what are you talking about making claims?
Your syllogisms are the best.
So what? Can you point out what's wrong with it? You point out what's wrong with the
never
conclusion
with your syllogism.
No, what? I'm asking you, man. You seem to go along with Berkey that there was something wrong with it, and they couldn't believe I said it. But you guys can't actually point out anything.
I never read your syllogism. What's your syllogism?
Oh, dude. Yeah, okay. Quite stupid now.
Yeah, facts.
Dude, I just like tweets without reading the whole thread.
I mean, I kind of do that too, but it was one sentence, so I don't know how you didn't read it.
Okay, well, cite it then.
You don't remember like 3 days ago?
Come on, bro.
To Berkey's comment?
No, I'm a Glober. I have goldfish memory.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, then. So why even say anything to you? Because you just forget what I said in 5 minutes.
Dude, you're just asking me questions. I'm trying to engage, and now you're asking me about my goldfish memory. We all have problems.
I forgot.
Mine is goldfish memory. Just cite your syllogism.
His work.
Don't flex your syllogism without willing to cite it. Jesus.
It wasn't.
Well, I go outside, the earth looks flat, therefore it is flat. What's wrong with that syllogism? Tell me what.
Okay, repeat it slowly without the beta male interrupting.
Is true, and
yeah,
can I
repeat it slowly?
Can I reach the
Bro, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it.
Can I reach the conclusion stated from the premises?
Okay, can you repeat it slowly without your beta male interrupting?
I go outside, the earth looks flat, therefore it is flat.
Amazing, you win. Earth is flat.
Okay. Yeah, so, well, is that a valid conclusion from the premises, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Are they both true premises, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Okay,
that's a win.
Game over.
The earth is flat.
Clip it, boys. Clip it. And bro, slap squatch. Don't let him talk to you like that, man. You can slap this guy around. He's just a child. He's not gonna hurt anybody.
Yeah, I'm a little bit, by his accent, I'm a little bit intimidated.
He should work on his accent. It's kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Well, at least you got one in the bag.
He's just jealous. So anyway, we'll just move on. Bro's our simp. We got our simp for the day. Very nice. W simps. W dedicated globetards. They're here in the flat earth more than the flat earthers. That's crazy, bro, man. It's like every time I log in, these dudes are here. Like, don't you have anything better to do, dude? How are you more dedicated to this than the flat earthers, dude? You got friends. Where's your chick? Go make some money, man.
CB, they're here when you log out too.
Yeah,
imagine that.
Bro, I'm gonna leave and then clock back in, and they'll still be here. Like, dude, what? Holy!
Y'all had any turncoats?
That alleged.
Any what?
Well, we stopped believing. I remember. You guys remember Tiger Dan? Back in the day, you had to be a FE back in the day. Tiger Dan said that the reason why he
are we still live?
Yeah, I don't. Can you hear me, CB? CB, can you hear me? Hello. Uh-oh, I don't think he can hear me.
CB, can you hear Alpha?
CB, can you hear me?
I can hear y'all.
Oh, okay, shit.
No, I don't think CB can. Oh, you can't hear anybody.
No, I don't think so.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah, that's all right. We're still awaiting those guys who think that the Earth is a globe to come in here and tell us how a logical statement can make the Earth a globe via the 24-hour sun. So if you can put it into a statement that sounds like you know that the 24-hour sun is proving the Earth is a globe, or that it's disproving flat Earth, go ahead. Put in a logical syllogism, please.
I'm a little disappointed, I got to be honest. I invited quite a few people. There's been some globe earthers that have been riding me for the past week, over this so-called globe earth win.
Are we still live?
I'm
going to join my computer because I can't tell if we're live or not.
Yeah, CB, are you there? All right, let me see. He's having trouble right now.
Oh, CB.
Can you kick him and then?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
What is it, Pete?
Oh, he just responded. He just responded.
CB, you cannot hear any of them. You can hear me. Sucks for you.
Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, how did do?
CB.
Hey, if you need a co-host, Alpha, I'm available for like half an hour. So
We don't need
go
it.
ahead.
Don't worry. Just go back to being our simp, though. That's fine.
CB, can
Stay
you
over
hear it?
there.
Can you hear me? Now?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Yeah, we
Going
were.
to my computer.
All right, so I'm gonna give you back co-host, but yeah, let's see.
Let's go. We finna cook.
All right.
That was a real easy W that Peter gave us. Do y'all recall?
Yeah, facts. That's all he does, bro. Just give us W.
You better clip it.
Clip it, boys. No honest question, though.
No, the file's too big. We can't put any more clips. The file's too big. It won't allow for any more.
Holy smokes.
All right, once again, 24
live.
20. CB, can you hear me? Hello?
Yep.
Hey, CB,
Oh, okay.
can you provide a logical syllogism?
Dude, you're running
the
all
fact
over my
that you're
space.
not a beta man?
We're not talking about that. So I have you up here for a reason. If you want to put on your best aftershave, you can do that. Just stay on mute, dude. Then when he comes in here, you can talk to him. But I got to plug my space. 24 hour. See, you got me all mixed up now. 24/7 Flat Earth, episode number 28. The final proposition, part 2. Hashtag TFE for the final experiment, or hashtag Flat Earth. Try to get some people in here. Guys, it's going to be a big ask for me to do this, but I want everybody in here, as many people as there are. It's like 40 people. Go ahead and retweet or repost this space on your profile to get some more people in here. We want to expand the conversation to as many folks as we can get in here possible. So the more people that we can, Nathan Oakley might be coming in here later on. So we want to see if we can have a panel here that later on wants to talk to him. They can do so. But it's going to be his first time on X like this. So he's going to do that here in this space. A few hours, I think. So if you guys hang around, if you want to be partaking of that, he will be probably later on, and he's going to bring his entourage. So they have people that are with him on his show. And then, of course, we're going to have us in here. But I will kick it over to him when he arrives and, let him speak to the panel of people that are here. So if you want to join us for that later, that's what's coming. But as for now, what we're doing in this space is we're talking to anybody who wants to come up here and formalize a proposition, right? Which is a logical statement that shows that the 24-hour sun from the people who went to Antarctica and they saw a 24-hour sun, how that proves or affirms that the Earth is a globe or disproves flat Earth. All you got to do is put it in two premises and a conclusion, right? And if you do it that way, then it shows that you understand what we're talking about with the topic of the room. So if you can do that, that'd be great. So that's what we're asking.
Yeah,
it's possible.
We're trying to salvage Will Duffy's claim that this is the final experiment. We're trying to maintain his reputation because, otherwise it would be just like a false claim and false advertising that he sucked everybody into. So we're trying to salvage it for him because I'm surely some Glober can come up and prove that it actually was the final experiment.
Spoiler, they cannot.
And we are live.
This was a kind of a way that you can form a syllogism within the structure for premise, conclusion. If the Earth is a globe, in the sense of saying, like, if you're going to make a statement, and I'll give you guys an example of that. Premise 1, if the Earth is a globe and tilted on its axis, the Antarctic region will experience 24 hours daylight during its summer solstice. Premise 2, during the Antarctic summer, 24-hour daylight is observed in the Antarctica. Conclusion, therefore, the Earth is a globe and tilted on its axis. So, giving you guys an example, I'm kind of showing you it's what when you come in here, it's what we're asking for.
No, you're not. You don't understand the truth table for that rule.
Okay, so would you like to be a listener?
This statement is,
I think you do.
False is.
Yeah, he thinks he can just start speaking at any time. That's not how we do things, bud. So, if anybody is able to do that, you're welcome to come up here and go ahead and state the premise 1, premise 2, and the conclusion of how, like the example that I just gave you, and make that statement and see if it's valid and it's true. Has to be valid and true, which makes it sound. Valid, true equals sound. So, if it's valid but not true, then it's not sound. Does that make sense? That's what we're asking for.
Facts, bro. Facts. I heard earlier someone say that it can't be done. Pretty sure Peter, like right when I logged in, he was here, before me, simp. And then he was saying directly that it can't be done. Did anyone else hear that? This was over in politics.
Yeah, it was him. It was him and Britnet.
Yeah.
Him and Britnet were saying it.
All right, well, we'll just take the W.
Britnet's here listening. He's at the very bottom. His name is FILGUGIGU. He's at the very bottom.
That's him. They gotta have different sock accounts so people don't realize that they're here more than everyone else.
That's him. He's trying to be incognito, but I know. Yeah, 100's there, Britnet, because I know that's who you are. But 100's in the chat if that's who you are.
Yep. Our beta male simps are here. W's in the chat for the beta male simps. Let's go.
We do have, if you want to come up here and go ahead because we've been asking this because everybody's running around, jumping up and down, saying it's game over, flat earthers, and they're telling everybody they got the W and all kinds of stuff. So they're feeling very happy, very proud that the 24-hour sun was shown. So I'm just saying, like, now is the time for you to come in here and go ahead and prove your worth for the argument. If you think that's a win, show us how it's a win.
They can't.
But here's the real question. But where are the guns, Nathan?
Oh my god.
What's that question?
Dude, you haven't seen that video, Alpha?
Nuh-uh.
Oh my goodness, dude. You haven't... McToon called Nathan and started screaming into it from, Antarctica. Started screaming into the phone. Where are the guns, Nathan? You're a freaking liar, pacing around, the ice, screaming like a maniac into his phone. Where are the guns? Over and over again. Dude, it's pretty cringe and, frankly, just mentally ill.
He looks not that well, dude. There was a video I think they were showing of him down there. He doesn't look well, man. Like, he looks disturbed. You know, a disturbed person, like,
yeah,
he doesn't look like he's doing all right. Like, somebody would just, like, that's a friend of his, would be like, hey, man, just kind of like pulling you over to the side and be like, is everything okay? Like, I mean, it's really doing okay. Like, I know you might got some money, but that doesn't make you looks like he's going through something, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
what it
like
is, but
24 hours of sunlight is the most sunlight he's had in like 20 years.
Indio, you come in with those like,
oh man,
dude, this is like.
Well, that's what lying and stress will do to someone. Make your hair turn gray. You end up looking like Peter, smelling like cigarettes and booze.
But it's still not the thing that we're asking. Like, if you're stressing out, if you got trouble, your feet need to touch grass, not snow, bro. That's not going to help. You're touching snow, bro. You need to get on some grass. That's grounding. You got to ground yourself. Not grounding on ice, bro. Yeah, you got snow blind.
You brown liquor or clear liquor?
Yeah, he listen, dude. He drinks Japanese lagers. Oh, that's what he. Last time he came in, he's like, I'm having me some Japanese lagers, and he knows that I'm saying what I'm saying is true because he said it. So
basically, trash. Yeah, got it.
He's drinking big silver cans of Sapporo. Is that it?
If you're that's what say that, man.
That's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the. Remember that old trash commercial, Indio?
Oh yeah.
What beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer? No, yeah, he's dude. What do you think, man? I think they're in pain, dude. Every time we're having these conversations, they come in here like, something's bothering them. You're like, dudes, like, why don't you just like go outside and have a barbecue, man? Do something. Like, you'll feel better afterwards.
Family, friends,
something, man. You're all stressed out. Your hair's a mess. I mean, you got your bread stanking like hot garbage, bro. You gotta go do something, man, with your life, bro. Like, seriously. Like, we got Nathan. He's on the panel. Let's bring him up.
Let's go.
Hey, I'm gonna drop out a co-host, and Nathan can come up.
No, you can stay, or I can drop if you want to keep it.
No, dude, I don't know how long I can. It's like 4 a.m., so I don't know how I can chill. You're in.
Indio's kind of. Indio's stretching it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, I'll make it as long as I can. That's all I can promise.
All right, I just want to welcome on the panel Nathan Oakley. We're talking about him coming onto the panel. So, everybody, if you know who Nathan Oakley is, he's arrived. So, Nathan, welcome to the panel. If you're there.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks for joining. There might be a little audio issues when you're starting to get used to X, but hopefully everything goes well, getting acclimated with it. So,
cool, good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, X Spaces is kind of like a platform that we're trying to get to now that it seems to be a little bit more open for us to have like a conversation about the topics that we speak of in here. So, we've been here kind of doing a couple of episodes. And it's been going fairly well, except for like I think the major problems that we've been having are like the audio issues with people connecting. Because of it being like a stage platform, there's only 12 speakers at any given time, and then you have the rest of the listening panel could be any number. We could just exceed like a grand number of people in the listening panel, but I think the maximum number is 12 speakers at any time, one host and two co-hosts. So, and then that would mean, anybody else that comes along is just going to be able to come in if somebody else drops out after those 12 people are the limit of speakers are reached.
I see.
And so in order for you to have like a bit of like control in the discussion, I can give you a co-host kind of rank, and then you could, like, if I was, because the way you do it here is like if you mute the panel as a host or a co-host, then everyone else in the speaking panel is muted except for the two co-hosts and the host. So if you have one of those roles, then you don't get muted. So it's like a mute all button. It's kind of weird because you can't individually mute somebody. X is kind of strange that way.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to toss you the co-host role, and that way, in case with the co-host role, you can actually give the ability for somebody on the listening panel to come up here and join us on the speaking panel, and or remove somebody. Like if somebody's being belligerent or doing something that you just want to remove them, all you can do is click on their avatar and then just remove them, and it puts them down to the listening panel, and so they're not in the speaking panel. So right now I'm just gonna toss you co-hosts and see if you can receive that.
Let's freaking go.
Done. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yep. We have a number of listeners in here at the moment. Let me see. Currently 40 listeners, and we're also live on YouTube. So, and then of course, if you have your panel and how many people you have, listening on your show and such.
No,
but
just me. It's
just you. Okay. Yeah, and if like you just want to maybe do anything you want, get your style going, or I don't know what you have planned, or you just want to be a guest, or it's whatever, man. We can utilize this anyway.
I've not been long awake, so I'll hang around till someone says my name, and then if someone wants to ask me something or you want to drag me into a conversation, I'm more than happy to do so.
Oakley.
Awesome.
Oakley.
Yeah. We're just actually putting the question for the Globers who have been in and out of the chat. There's been a lot of epic failures, of course, with them actually coming forth and being able to form in a logical statement what they've been able to produce as evidence for them actually viewing the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. So it's been one of those kind of listening to them like fumble around with like logical statements. It's kind of what we always expected them to do when they come in here. So I just wanted to extend that to the listening audience right now, that we have Nathan Oakley on the speaking panel. If you guys want to come up and maybe have a discussion with Nathan, gonna go ahead and open up the panel for that. If you're listening right now and this is your first time coming in here, this is 24/7 Flat Earth, episode number 28, and we've dubbed it the final proposition. It's a rebuttal to the final experiment, because for some odd reason people think that they went down to Antarctica and proved something. So we're asking anybody who actually believe that's the case to come up here and formalize it in a logical statement that it's possible that they proved or disproved the flat earth or affirmed that the earth is a globe. So if you want to come up here and speak, you can do so. Yeah, they've been, it sounds like, every time we get these guys that come in here, they have a lot of trouble with this. So I like for them to actually have the ability to come up here and see if they have any, or what it takes when they think that they're able to prove something. So it's kind of, for me, it's just an observation of just seeing how many times they fail when they are trying to say that it affirms anything for globes. So I've always been saying it's just a fantasy that think that they're going to be able to put it in a logical form. So they're not. They have never even come close to it. So
yeah, facts, bro.
Yeah, so for the benefit of the slow globers in the back, what that means is that supposedly Mr. Duffy orchestrated the coup de grace to the idea that the Earth is flat by supposedly conducting an event that will settle the matter once and for all. Now that it's settled once and for all, supposedly, you guys are supposed to come and gloat that the Earth can't possibly be flat by telling us how whatever happened in the TFE event proves the Earth is a globe or that the Earth can't be flat. Yeah, you guys don't seem to understand how to do that. I guess Will Duffy forgot to give you all the manual.
all right, for everybody here, what I would like to ask the people on the panel and everyone in the listening side, if you can just retweet, repost this to your profile page. So when you do that, what you do is you bring the attention to everybody who's following you. So let's say you have like 500 followers. Every one of those people who comes across you being in a space will see that you're in a talking space. So they'll come in and join. So what I would like is that all 40 people that are in here currently just retweet or repost this space. Like I said, what it does, it gets the attention of everyone. So that's great. We want that to be the case. We want more people in here, and so the conversation can grow and people can come to the speaking panel and have discussions with Nathan Oakley, who's joined us as a guest and also a co-host. So if you're in here right now, don't forget to repost or retweet the space out. That's it. That's kind of like the important part of what everybody needs to do right now. That's going to get more eyes on this space. So, we have Nathan Oakley in here. But I don't know, Nathan, how much time do you have, like, with us? Short while or? Might be busy.
Hey, we got time today, man. We got time today.
Okay, we got Basto Max coming up. Basto Medic. I'm going to bring him up to the speaker panel. Basto Medic, welcome back.
Hey, you remember me, huh?
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
In like episode, what was it, like episode 5 or 6, something like that?
That you were on. You would know more than I, but yes.
Yeah, you were on one of the earlier episodes, but you were
an early episode.
I think you were conflicted at the time. You were still thinking that the Earth maybe could be a globe, and you were wrestling with that fact. How has it been going so far with that? Like,
I did discover something that was kind of interesting. I saw a YouTube where they were talking about how the guy used his fist as the Earth and the sun. I guess he used two hands, but so it kind of goes like this, right? So if we're supposedly rotating around the sun, right, and you've got the side of the Earth that's pointed towards the sun, right? So let's say that the sun is on the left, and the Earth is on the right. So we're looking into the sun. What would be, I guess, we'll call it west, right? You could pick anything, but it'll make sense if north is 12 and 6 is south and like that, right? So the dark side of the Earth, we get to see space. You following? Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, the way you're proposing it, like, I understand the globe, the way they talk about it, but you're saying that somebody had shown you some example of how they were trying to describe it with their hand?
Well, it was just a way to do an example. You could use anything. With the guy, he was using his hands just to sort of illustrate it, because then you're looking like west. So the dark side of the Earth, you're looking west, for example. So kind of the deal is, if you're going around, and you reverse that, so the sun would be in the middle now, we'll call it the middle, because we're going to put the Earth, instead of at 3 o'clock, we're going to put it at 9. You're looking in an opposite direction. So how does the North Star occur every night? And that's sort of one of the things that I thought was pretty entertaining to try and figure out. And I've never had that proposed as like, because you always see the Big Dipper from the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, they're showing you things that are cause you to think about how is it possible that the Earth is a globe, and we still see the stars in a particular region of the sky. As it being a globe, it wouldn't work. Kind of an idea, right? But it's the only thing that I would say is, like, you don't have to talk about how it's not a globe. Just all you got to do is affirm that it is flat. Just the affirmation of it being flat could just easily, they can't get away from that, right?
Well, actually, what I took away from you is that they can't prove that it is a globe.
Of course,
the
because
fact that it's flat or some other shape, that is totally up for debate. But the globe thing, you and I can't do it, right? Because like we need scientific equipment, we need a vantage point that is not Earth, pretty much. Got to go up, or we got to be somewhere else to really view this thing and understand it. We don't have that ability. So a lot of what they've decreed as fact has been debunked on a myriad of different things throughout the ages, right? So this is quite likely something else that could be debunked. I have yet to really, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ideas. There's something kind of like a snowman or whatever, like multiple, like, it's not just a globe. Or then you've got the flat with the ice ring on the outside. Like, there's a whole bunch of different concepts for what this could be. But we're just being told one thing and expected to burp it back.
Yeah, we don't. That's the problem with the idea that people have these concepts of what the Earth is they fall into a trap of reifying those concepts. So whether it be
interesting last time, because there were a couple people after me that clung to some idea, and you had a very valid course of reasoning, and they just clung to something, and they weren't even making sense. Like they had to realize that they weren't really making sense, but it challenged their core belief, and they weren't even willing to entertain that something could be different, to just even have a thought experiment. Just like, life is going to exist. You're still, everything's the way it is. You'll do whatever you do tomorrow. You can go to sleep, wake up, life will be normal. But just for the sake of argument, can you do this exercise? The answer was no with a couple people. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it just
mode. So I think you need to re-ping him the host access.
Yeah. He shows his co-host up here for me. What I'm saying is he as a listener? Is he a listener right now? Does he look that way to you?
Yeah, it's a listener,
brother. But yeah,
it's showing listener for me. Yeah.
Okay. Let me switch. It's got a lot of bugs, so let me remove him as the co-host. Let me see.
Well, dude, all the funding from Elon's corporation is going to fake space stuff. So I mean, they can't afford to fix Twitter, I guess.
Yeah, dude, it's got a lot of bugs. Here, let me try it again. I'll drop him as a speaker. See if that works. Yeah, I was telling him when he came up here, there's a lot of audio issues. Let's see.
I have heard Twitter is full of technical debt, and at the point when Elon purchased it, basically the engineers were afraid to touch the code. You touch one thing and it causes a bug somewhere else, and Yeah,
Basto, just excuse me for a moment. I want to see if Nathan's back on. Nathan, sure. Are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was fiddling around and I think I left and rejoined. Sorry, my bad.
All right, I'm gonna drop co-host on you again. See if that works over.
Thank you. I'll try not to press anything.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's I don't know. I don't never really liked the whole situation here with the audio and the way it works.
It's working though, isn't it? We are actually able to talk to each other and it's functional. So I get it. It's glitchy. It seems that way, but it works. It seems to work. You're having a conversation. I'm talking back to you. This is good.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see what else. So Basto, you've come up here, and you've had it's been a number of weeks since you've been here, since you last been here. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like maybe 5 weeks or something. Well, you're on episode 28. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought I was in a low number one. Definitely.
Yeah, you must have been like 4 or 5, something like that. And we've had many people come on since then. We had 2 pilots that Jedi had spoke to that were struggling. Actually, they spiraled out of one of them was acting like a big baby, and he was just over talking him. And like after he found out that he was proving that the fact that planes don't have to negotiate over any specific amount of curvature while in flight. I mean, he himself being a pilot admitted to that, and it was such one of the most amazing spirals out of because when he admitted it was just amazing. And so he just hard reset and try to save face, and because he started over talking Jedi, so we kind of put him back down as a listener, and then after that he left. But the second pilot, everybody has trouble when they come in here thinking that they're of a specific profession going to prove that the Earth is a globe.
Well, that's the thing. They really come in trying to refute you instead of just saying, maybe since we perceive everything upside down and backwards, maybe just perhaps I've got some belief that isn't correct. Or maybe like the educational system really doesn't matter what they teach, but the purpose is to provoke and embed a response to authority.
Yeah,
but most of them read and be able to do basic math and whatnot. But they don't really work on critical thinking skills.
Speaking of response to authority, I command everyone to go into the active chat and repost my post giving Nathan Oakley's information out to all the listeners that are going to be here today. So get as many reposts on that as we can. Thank you.
Did you put it in the Jumbotron in the nest?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It takes a minute to populate in the nest.
I'm a crash guy.
Unless it's the Indio.
I'm gonna crash, guys. Thanks for space, though.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by, man.
Yep, I'll be back around. Just gotta get some rest.
Yep, we're here. If we're on, welcome.
Wait, around.
All the best to y'all.
See ya, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. And
pilots really don't like the fact that they think they're experts on the shape of the Earth, but actually what they do disproves their claims. Like, for example, we've had a butthurt pilot for years in the flat Earth community called Wolfie 6020, who claimed way back in the day that when he gets the black box data, he's going to prove that the Earth is round because the plane flies in an arced path to maintain the same altitude. Fast forward to now, and there's still no data that shows that, but yet we have data that shows that the plane just flies level. And of course, Nathan Oakley's panel over there talks about that all the time, so he might actually have something to say about that.
Well, with pitch data.
Oh, yeah.
The guy gave us that pitch data was in my live stream chat yesterday, Buck Sodbuster, and he scraped all of my history from YouTube and started telling me stuff about ex-girlfriends from 30 years ago. I'm like, are you trying to scare me? Really? Man, you need a lot of cope at the moment, don't you, Blind Believers? You think going back through 30 years of my history on Facebook's going to somehow change that Earth is measured flat? Or that we've got pitch data in his case that he's given us?
Wait, so he was a Glober that was trying to give it to you to do what exactly?
I don't know. I'd ask me about jobs from 20 years ago, and I'm like, did you work for this job? Yeah, I did, yeah. About this girl, Gemma. I'm like, what? A girl that I nearly married 30 years ago? Wow, you've dug deep.
Hey, we get girls, man. Hey, facts.
Damn, he went all the way back in your history just to look for something to find some dirt on you or something. What's wrong with these guys?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I said. Oh, looking for dirt, are you? I was like, there's a reason my name's public. I use my real name. You can find anything you like out about me. This isn't going to be some effective tool that you're going to utilize.
What that's called is a hate boner.
Yeah, if you guys didn't catch that, though, he's the one I suspect that gave the data, and then he's coping about the data he gave. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. So he's frequenting our chats more often than typically had. And he's just some sock. He's probably someone else that's more well known than his sock suggests. Just some coward that doesn't want his real name to come. It's like, well, if you are an actual individual out here making videos potentially, then fine. Just use your real name. Level your accusations, but they don't want to be caught out and be wrong on their own account. Can't risk their reputation. Me, I've got a totally different attitude to the internet. Like, if I get it wrong, I'll own my mistake. No worries. That's why I use my real name. I've always took that attitude from the day I started using the internet. But some people don't. They're like, I can find dirt on you. Why? Because you've got loads of dirt on you, and you need to use a sock account to approach me? No. You might find things that you think are dirt, but they're perfectly open and public and discussed at nausea. People who don't know that think they find dirt on me when they go through my Facebook profile. It's like, hello, we're measuring Earth flat. You've given us pitch data, and now you're asking me about a girlfriend from 30 years ago. Sad. Creepy and sad.
I also want kind of a trend, though. That is kind of a trend. Like, we've experienced it 200 times, 24/7, in heated debates. The Glober will go to grab a citation, bring it back. They never even read the whole thing. We just read like the next 3 sentences, and it completely debunks what they were trying to do.
I do want to give I just do want to give a quick plug to Nathan Oakley, as he's just joining X. It looks like his account is brand new. So what I would also like to ask everybody who's in the chat right now to go ahead and follow Nathan Oakley. He has some of the best flat earth arguments that you've ever heard on the internet. So if you can do that right now, I put the post that AI had put up on the Jumbotron. So all you got to do is go right above all the speakers right now and look into all the information that's up there. He's on there 5 days a week, 9 a.m. Eastern. So it's going to have all the information there. But also don't forget to follow him. We're starting up with the following. So I just followed Nathan Oakley. So everybody, if I can have you, just follow Nathan Oakley. Click on his avatar, go to his profile page, and click follow. And that way we can start getting some more accounts to actually start following Nathan Oakley. Appreciate everything Nathan Oakley has done for the arguments putting forward, and hopefully that helps a lot of people out understanding just basic reasoning. So
W's in the chat for Nathan.
Audience.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. But for context for your audience, the guy we were just talking about, I'm just not talking about some random sock account that's come to my channel. In this instance, it's specifically referencing what AI asked me, which is about flight data. So that particular individual, the reason I've gone into his scope is because he provided us with the NTSB pitch data originally. So when it comes to your pilot that you were talking about earlier, conceding that he's flying over a plane, well, he's flying over a plane, that's how it's measured, and we've got the data to back it. It was given to us by this random sock account who gave it to Brian. So that's how we've got it. So after the fact, he's then presumably looked at this data and gone, I don't know what this proves. Given it to us to look at, we've said, well, it proves that it's flat and measured so. Then he's, like I said, started digging through my Facebook account because I point that out to him whenever I see him. Thank you for the pitch data.
Oh, so he felt slighted because you're now using it for flat earth evidence, and now he just like he hates to be the guy that actually put that information out. So now he's just trying to throw some shade on you because of that. He feels slighted from. That's funny.
Basically, yeah.
But he put it out. It was his information. He gave that to you. It's like not like you twisted his arm for it or anything. It's like,
Exactly. There's a very fancy name for that. It's called hoist on your own petard.
looks like Yakub's son wants to come up here requesting to speak. So, see, Yakub's son's been on our panel before. I'm going to see if I can give him the speaker. Yakub, welcome back to the panel. Not too much, man. How about you? What you been doing?
No, just working. Being a globe dog. Hey, you hear about the 24/7 sun? The guy took a trip to the North Pole, and I guess they convinced him the Earth was round.
We heard about those guys going over there, but what did you hear about it? Do you think that they've proved something for when they went down there?
Nah, I think everything's a psyop now.
Psyop? Well, why do you even say that?
Why do I think everything is a psyop?
Yeah, but no, based upon what you heard them go do. Like, I'm not. Maybe that's what you think about everything's a psyop. But what did you hear them? Like, what did they say that they? What impression did you get? Like, what did they do? They prove something?
So, I'm not an expert on it, but from my understanding, this guy was a pretty avid flat earther, and he thought maybe the videos were fake of like the North Pole and the sun, and he didn't believe him, so they sent him out there. Some guy paid for a trip for him to go, and then I guess he got to see it for himself. But then I also seen a video of how it could still do that, and we still live in kind of a dome type situation. It just, it's from perspective. So I don't know, dude. I'm not at a point to talk yet. I'm just a listener,
Sounds like Duffy spent that $500,000 wisely. Doesn't seem to have had much effect on anything.
God, that's a lot of money for a guy to do that. Like, that's God.
What do you guys think, though? What do you think that did for? Did it prove or not prove anything? Or
W promo.
Proof there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica at this time of year.
Yeah.
So was that all the impression you got, Jakub? You couldn't make heads or tails now of like them saying that they proved that the Earth is a globe. Did it leave a lasting impression on you? Like they did something amazing?
I try to stay skeptical and not really convert anything to belief, but for the most part, no, it didn't wow me. I just figured that's like the newest thing in this spectrum, But what do you guys think? Did it do any? Did you guys talk about that yet, or?
Yeah, it's exactly what Nathan said. It just proved a 24-hour sun. That's it. They just went up there. It's a bit underwhelming actually to spend $500,000 to go see a sun up in the sky for 24 hours. And then what do you do with the rest of the time? Have a snowball fight? Like, I mean, what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the proof of the snow angels? That's what I want to see.
Did you guys see something about the shadows? I seen like some pictures of shadows, like how the shadows weren't like they altered something or like faked something or.
Dude, I've been getting a feed, like people have been tagging me and saying that there's one side that the people are saying that it was all fake, this propaganda, and that they're CGI with the there was an image showing. I don't know if you guys on the panel have seen this image that shows like where they're standing and then like some other thing that's in there in the shot, and then the angle of the shadows are like divergent, all like in the same image, showing that it couldn't be possible that they were all standing underneath like the sun that's shining, and like the shadows were all in the same direction. Have you seen that image? Maybe we can. It's in the feed somewhere. I gotta look for it and post it for you guys.
I think that's exactly what I saw.
It's from McToon pacing around in circles, screaming my name at the snow and at Dave McKeegan.
Oh my God. No, Nathan, when they told me that, dude, I was like, what the hell is his problem? It's almost like his feet never touch grass at any point in time in his life. Like, what? Why does he have like this bee in his bonnet that he's got to talk to you about? Like, it's the guy is kind of off his.
I posted two of those clips. I posted two of those clips in the chat thread too about this very thing.
Yeah, if you can, Nathan, that'd be.
Well, let's just deal with the more important stuff first, because that's far less important than what you're discussing. So, in terms of these shadows, right? Again, unless you're going to use it to affirm the consequent, it's not going to prove anything or disprove anything. Because if you're trying to debunk their claimed observation, you haven't done it, but I'm prepared to take it as read or not take it as read. In other words, if it's fake, okay. If it's not fake, okay. Doesn't prove anything. You're on the right lines when you're asking people who come here, okay, form a logical syllogism. Tell me how it proves something. And if they don't come to the conclusion that it proves there's a 24-hour sun at this time of year in Antarctica, then they're an idiot. If they come to another conclusion, then you have to take it apart based on its fallacious reasoning. But it doesn't really offer much. Now, when my panel have started analysing the data, I've told them to stop. So wait till the dust settles. There's going to be a huge purge of flat earthers that run away. There's already been commenters telling me, I was really for AE, now I'm going to give it up. Oh, okay. You didn't know it was flat then. You just believed it. So good for you. But when the dust settles, maybe we'll, or at least my panel, start actually putting out their analysis on this stuff. But I've said to them for the time being, let's not do it on air. It's just not worth it. We don't know who we're appealing to because they're all up in the air. Once the dust settles, we'll know who we're appealing to. But while the dust is settling, the people who have been around for a long time and are seemingly going to stay are going to make their responses to it to justify it if they think it's an issue. And we can critique them. So we've already started. We've started critiquing people like Mark Sargent, Patricia Steer, who had a guy on with a model trying to explain it. Like, why are you trying to explain it? If you don't know what their claim is and how they say it proves something, what have you got to find a need to debunk? Why are you looking at shadows? Have they proved something for you to need to debunk it? No. Same would have applied. I'm far happier doing it this way around. I didn't know I'd be this happy doing it this way around. I thought the flatties might come back, having not shown the 24-hour sun, and I'd have to explain this exact same fallacy, but to flatties, and say, well, how does it prove it's a flat plane? Do you want to take me through the logic? And have them go, doesn't matter, we won, we're flatties, hooray! All flat earth numpty believers, aren't we?
Well, you're right. I mean, you're right. But it's also right to let the dust settle and find out where everything stands, and so we can point to the right people instead of just making these wild accusations as to like we got some kind of weird image that shows something that we don't know who to appeal to at this moment. So there's a lot of analysis that's going to have to go through after once it's all put out to the information. So
for the time being, the way it's been presented is this is thanks to us largely. They haven't actually presented the bad logic, the fallacy, because we've kept presenting the logical fallacy that would have to be used before they'd had a chance to even use it. So very rarely will you actually hear someone like Duffy or anybody from that expedition detailing how it proves the globe. They're too scared to. So the way this actually breaks down is it's an affirming the consequent fallacy. If I assume I go to the bottom of a ball, let's say I'm standing on the bottom of a ball. Now I've assumed that I'm here on the bottom of a ball. Let's have a look at the sun. Check it out. The sun did, doesn't matter what. Sun did that. Okay? That's what you've got thus far. I assume I go to the bottom of a ball. I look at the sun. I looked at the sun, and therefore I'm on the bottom of a ball. That's how the fallacy breaks down. If antipodal positioning, 24-hour sun in Antarctica, 24-hour sun in Antarctica, therefore antipodal positioning. No, it's a formal logical fallacy known as affirming the consequent. We pointed out from the moment it was suggested they'd be going down there. That's where it all begins. Down? No. South. With respect to a plane. South's a flat plane direction. You don't have south on a ball. It's nonsense. It's a two-dimensional system. They've superimposed on a three-dimensional ball after measuring Earth flat to create the ball. There's no south. What are you talking about? South's out there towards the horizon, flat on a map. And tell me that's the bottom of a ball by assumption, I'll point out your formal logical fallacy that you're about to employ by saying we're going down to Antarctica. No, you're not. You're going out southwards on a flat plane with pitch data proving you're on a flat plane, with maps that were made with flat plane angle measurements to stars, with a system that was taken from those measurements to create a celestial sphere, and then impose a globe within. Nothing about what you're doing, measuring, flying upon, sailing upon, has got anything to do with the globe, but for the fact that you say, I assume I'm on the bottom of it when I look at the sun, there is no globe proof here.
100's in the chat, guys, if you hear what Nathan's saying and it resonates. 100's in the chat. So I totally agree. I mean, it's I think they grew up with the colloquial way of saying down, like, so I think that's stuck with people, and they're saying it now. Sometimes even flat earthers are just saying it, and I know what they mean, but it's just like when they say it, they're not being cognitive of like why they're mentioning down. So.
But QE even says down. He does.
No, but Nathan's correct, right? So it's when it's said, they're not taking mind to like what they're saying because they're affirming the consequent. So.
Well, just for Flatsy, you need to tell him off.
Yeah, 100%.
Tell him off, Flatsy.
I will. Do you want me to?
It's not going to work. I'm not saying it's a serious tone to what I'm suggesting to you, Flatsy, right? In the same way, QE, do you know how QE calls me on using the word model out of context? And he says, it drives me nuts and he tells me off every time I do it. You've got to do that. Same with atmosphere, same with all these words that we use incorrectly because we're verbally
you know how many times I want to like correct Huey when he says down, and I'm like, you're assuming an antipodal. But honestly, I can't even say that anymore because if whatever is happening in the sky has like podal positions, then I can't say anything against it.
No, you can. You must. I'm suggesting to the entire panel that this is an opportunity as a reset's just occurred. I used to call it a purge, whatever you want to call it. Loads of flatties are going to desert it, the subject that is, because flat Earth subject, I should be more specific, because they only had a tertiary belief in it to begin with. They didn't know it was flat. So when someone comes along and says, oh, look, there's a 24-hour sun, I'm not a flatty anymore. Now, that's how I hear it when someone says that. Like, what? Well, how are those two things connected? Yeah. You're not a flatty because you looked at the sun on a video.
Yeah, so I will. I'll take up that whatever that means. Like I'll take it up and I'll be like, hey, every time you say down, QE, you are assuming something. But I want to say this at least when you're talking about antipodal. That could be happening in the sky, but not on the ground. But like ground position of what's happening in the sky could absolutely be like antipodal.
What do you mean could be happening? Antipodal, opposite side of a ball. What do you mean?
Not on the opposite. No, not on the opposite side of a ball. I'm saying whatever is happening in the sky could have like some sort of podal position. Antipodal position.
Flatly. When you get to the sky and you're able to go around, then you can use those languages.
I'm saying could. I'm saying a lot of like terms that are not definitive. They're suggestive. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not giving you something that you should take as 100% fact. I'm saying that this could be the case in the sky, but not on the ground.
No, what it means is diametrically opposed to. So on the opposite side of a ball, I correct people when they say upside down. So if I'm upside down in Australia. No, you're not. You're antipodal. You're diametrically opposed to the position I'm standing here in the UK. Just means on the opposite side of a ball. It's used like a synonym for Earth specifically.
Yeah.
As well. In the definition.
Okay, so I guess I was saying that like antipodal could be something that could happen in the sky, but not on the ground. That's the only thing that I'm saying.
Okay. Either way, when QE says down, which he does, he's inferring antipodal positioning, and you're absolutely correct to want him to not do it. And from this point, I'm not saying you need my permission, but take it as a permission to do so. Don't think, oh, it's QE. He shouldn't be saying down, but who am I to say it? Well, you're in your rights to absolutely tell him, but don't tell him because it's like, oh, I want to point like how smart I am. It's like, no, he shouldn't be doing that. Like, I shouldn't be saying model when I'm talking about a map. When I'm getting it wrong, QE will pull me on it, and rightly so. We're hypercritical internally. If you spot him saying down or atmosphere, or me saying model or atmosphere or down, which I do it too, you absolutely pull that person on immediately.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it on anything other than that. He only ever says like down. Like he
going
says
down
that a lot,
there,
doesn't he?
Yeah, he says going down there, doesn't he? He says going down.
He says that a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, we have Andrea that's coming up to the speaking panel and raising her hand. So
before we go on to that, I just want to make a slight nuance. The idea of a reset really isn't fair. It's more like New Game Plus.
Yeah, next game.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but we already got our armor and our rank and all of that and all the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just got here, so you guys can just kick me out if you want to.
I have a quarter. I have 50 cents.
You're broke.
I have 2 questions.
What's the question, Andrea?
I have 2 questions. One is, why are our rockets shaped like spherically, like dicks, kind of cylindrically? And the other question was, if Earth is flat, are all of the other planets flat, and the sun and the moon, are they not spherical as well?
Yeah, this also explains why nobody understood your first question. Your second question gave you away.
No, I mean, like, why do we have to orbit like that? If it's flat, why don't...
I'm telling you that... I'm telling you that your second question gave you away because you said something that's just completely nonsense and false on either side of... whoever is claiming anything on either side that you're listening to, you should probably... Yeah, so you should probably know who is representing a certain side before you go in and say that they represent something that you don't actually know about. You get what I'm saying?
I was asking it.
Yeah, but you were wrong in a loaded question.
Okay.
So you had a loaded question for one side, right?
I had 2 questions.
Yeah.
Can I answer her?
Yeah, go ahead.
The lights are flat. You can only get a 2D view of the lights in the sky. You asked if they could be flat, but you don't get 3D vision to the sky. You don't get binocular vision of the stars. You only get a monocular vision. It's like a 2-dimensional plane that you'd look through it, through a telescope. Do you understand that? You're not getting 3D view of the sky? You said, would the stars be flat? They are. That's how we view them. Did you not know that?
No, I'm asking if Earth is flat, are all of the other planets flat as well? And the moon and the sun?
And my answer to you, I've just said...
I know the sun is a star.
I'll repeat it. That means I'll say it again because you haven't comprehended it. No. The view you have of the stars is flat. And you're asking, would they be? Like, hypothetically, could they be? No, they are 2D only view, not binocular. You don't get a 3D view of them. You can infer certain 3D aspects when you look at what are labeled.
But I'm not looking at them through binoculars.
And you can use suppositions like orbits. Orbits being the description of an asymptotically flat plane derived from flat plane angle measurements to Polaris to give you a radius value for a ball Earth, for Kepler to put in orbital motion on a 2D flat plane. That's what orbits are. You use that word too. You also said if the planets, as in this is hypothetical. I pointed out, no, you have got a 2D view of them. That's what you look at them as through a telescope. You're not getting a binocular vision. Third time I've told you. As for if
I
Earth is
actually
flat,
have seen NASA's
I'm answering
vision.
her questions. She's just talking through me. You asked a 2-part question. That means it's not going to be a really slow process, a really quick process.
Right,
sorry,
go ahead.
to answer
Sorry.
your 2 questions. You've got to shut up while I'm talking to you. I'm answering you, aren't I? Would they be 3D? Would they be flat? They are flat. That's the first part dealt with. Orbit, you say? Orbit's made by Kepler on a 2D asymptotically flat plane. You have no idea what I just said to you, madam. I know from the tone of your voice that you're not very bright, so I'm trying to speak slowly for you. That doesn't invite you to talk while I'm talking. It invites you to shut up and listen. She keeps talking through me. I'm telling her. She's asked. I'm telling her.
It seems that I can't not talk.
Shut up.
I cannot talk while you're.
Shut up. I'm still talking.
You don't like my answer.
Why? Okay. I don't get to answer you then, do I, dum dum?
No, of course you can. You just don't like mine.
You didn't let him answer you completely first.
I'm answering you, you dumbass. Can you I'm done. Why am I even got my kids in the next room? I don't need to raise my voice to you. I was trying to answer your dumb question. You didn't want to hear it. You started talking while I was answering your 2-part question. Now you can go.
I'll ask one at a time. So why are rockets? Why
Even when I'm telling her I don't want to talk to her anymore, she's yammering through the top of me. How rude.
Shut up, bitch!
You're a triggered glurf. That means globe-believing numpty. Somebody who can't tolerate me answering your stupid questions. And in the middle of those stupid questions, they trigger you. It's oh so painful to hear me, a flat earther, correcting your dumb question and answering it. That's what I'm doing. I was trying to get to the end bit, the most important bit, the first bit you asked. No, actually, that was about stupidity about rockets and aerodynamics. We're not talking about rockets. Going to where? A sky vacuum? No, we don't have a sky vacuum above us for the rockets that you're asking about their shape. Maybe go and speak to somebody in aerodynamics. That's not us. But we had to try and get to the end of the 2-part question that had no bearing on anything we discuss here. Shape of rockets? What's that for? Going to space, a sky vacuum, a place where you think orbits exist, because you used the word. Now, I know how orbits was made, how it was invented, who invented it, when it was invented, and what it utilizes for you to reify it into existence for a ball Earth moving. I know all those things. You're asking about the 3D representation of the lights that we look through telescopes at. Okay? You've got absolutely no right to be talking through me, madam.
100's in the chat, guys. We got Nathan Oakley in the panel right now. Apocryphon, Creation Bear, Flatsy Klein, Overlord, Beardman's in the panel, Yakub's son. Guys, if you want to have a discussion with the panel, go ahead and request to speak. We'll bring you up to the speaking panel. You guys can maybe ask Nathan Oakley some questions if you know who he is. If not, there's something in the top in the nest. Click on that. That's going to give you some information of his channels. Also, please do this. Follow him on X. That way he can get some people that maybe he can have some text conversations with. So go ahead and do that as well. Follow him on X.
Let's go. Let's cook. Don DeMarco.
We had some other guy that was coming up here, but he just wanted to interrupt. I usually bring people up here thinking that they're going to be cordial and be able to wait till someone stops talking, but he started to yammer on between you and that other person. So I put him back down on as a listener.
But also, don't forget that Alpha Veritas loves it when these guys come in hot and heavy, and he's ready to put them in their place. So you got to at least... I don't know. Alpha has his own style.
The thing is though, Nathan's been bringing the heat for many a number of years now, and a lot of people need to get to know who he is on X. There's a lot of these X globies and flatties that they don't know who he is, and if they don't know, they're going to start to get to know him. So hopefully this space will kind of record, his interactions here with the people so that they can get to know him. Because he's pretty famous.
Everybody should get to know everyone that's prominent in this topic. And Nathan Oakley is one of the top prominent folks in this topic that you can go to and get good information. By the way.
No, I was just
Are
gonna
we
say,
glazing right now? Facts.
yeah, no, listen,
I'm gonna glaze over everybody if I'm allowed to.
Yeah, Flatsy, hold on. I was gonna say that I think I had mentioned Joe Rogan even mentioned Nathan at one time. There was I don't know what show it was, but they were like, "Did you hear about this flat earther guy?" And Joe was speaking about Nathan having a conversation with somebody because they had like a little snippet of him talking to someone. I don't know, Nathan, if you knew anything about that, or maybe you do.
Do you mean Joe?
I hope
by
so.
Joe, do you mean Eddie Bravo?
Was it Eddie Bravo that brought it to Joe's attention? But I know that there was someone that mentioned a clip on his show about you, and you were just, I guess, talking to somebody.
Really? Recently?
No. This was back in, I guess, in Eddie Bravo when he used to frequent Joe's show. But I do remember that there was a clip of you. You were, I guess, you were lighting somebody up, and it was just like, it maybe could have been Eddie bringing it to Joe or Joe mentioning it to somebody, but I did remember a piece of like a soundbite of you. I don't know, it was an interaction that you had with someone, but it was interesting because like you got mentioned, and I was like, damn, he didn't even give you props or like who it was. He was. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of neat.
Cool. I'll have a look, mate. That's news to me. I didn't know that.
No, I just thought maybe you would already be like, oh yeah, I remember that clip. But I'd have to look for it actually. It's somewhere, it's in the internet somewhere, and I'm pretty sure we can find it. But yeah, if anybody wants to come up here and have a conversation, if you think that the Earth is a globe, what we're doing right now with this space is the continuing series that we have here on Twitter, on X. The final proposition, it's a rebuttal to the final experiment. So if you guys know or not know about what happened just recently with people going to Antarctica and seeing a 24-hour sun, if you want to come up here, we can discuss what that was all about. Perhaps have a discussion with Nathan Oakley or us. It's up to you. Go ahead and just request to speak or come up here to the speaking panel. We see Arthur B. Flats join us as well. See you there, brother.
Flat Earther.
I do have a question. Nathan, are you with the panel or are you just alone?
I am on my own, alone.
On my own, all alone. Just kidding.
Are you doing the show today,
Where are the guns, Nathan? Where are they? Where are the guns?
Where are the guns?
Yeah.
Dude, that is so funny.
Oh, McToon's hair was on fire for Nathan. He was just running around like a freak.
You want to know why that was? I didn't get to that earlier. So just give me a sec. The reason that happened isn't because of guns, in case anybody hadn't figured that out yet. Right, some 10-year-old comment wasn't so egregious that McToon felt the need to yell my name into the snow. No. The reason Toon's yelling my name is because I've pointed out to Toon on no less than 100 separate occasions that he measured Earth flat. He did a 10K challenge and measured Earth flat in it. Now, me pointing that out to him is why he's screaming my name, because he can't cope. Why wasn't enough for him to just go and see the 24-hour sun if that proves the globe? Not that we've been given the logic for how that would be the case, but if that's what they believe they're down there to do, you'd think it'd be sufficient enough evidence once they saw it. No, he needs to call me, doesn't he? Why? Well, because he knows he measures Earth flat too. And I pointed that out to him 100 times. That's what I said to him when he called me, although you can't hear me on the other end of that call on his video. I'm saying, what about those flat Earth measurements you made there too? I've told you them 97 times. This will be the 98th. Then he rumpuses me. Then I say, 99th time, Toon. Your 10K challenge uses flat Earth measurements. And he hangs up the phone. As soon as he hears 10K challenge, which is what you can just about make out on his video, he puts the phone down and starts screaming about guns.
Oh, where's the guns, Nathan?
He measures Earth flat. That's the point. That's why my numbers have started going up. My viewers, my people requesting me on their shows, things like this have all gone up. People's interest in me and what I do and the people around me has gone up. Why? Because we talk about Earth being measured flat. That's why.
You gotta love it though, because that song was such a good highlight for how you live rent free in his head, buddy.
I posted the song, by the way, in the Nest for anyone that wants to check it out later.
Yeah, it will never be enough for a globe believer. I'll always be living rent-free so long as I'm talking about Earth's measurements and how they measure Earth flat. Everyone on this panel, if they were to measure Earth, would measure it flat. It's been measured flat for as long as it's been measured, and it will always be measured flat in the future. So anybody that comes up with Earth measurements will be presenting flat Earth measurements.
Yeah, but it's only not flat because I saw the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, Nathan. So where's the guns, Nathan? Where are they?
And Nathan, by the way, I just want to make this point real quick. Let's say you get to a new job site and you have the elevation. The second that you establish your vertical, and then you do a benchmark of your height from that position that you've been given by the blueprints of where you're going to start, and you create a new horizontal that's now parallel to your position, and now you're continuing to measure the Earth flat. And you can build as far away as you need to from that position, but in all directions of that, you are parallel to a baseline that's been transferred inland, probably miles at this point. But it's just, you are continuing the measured Earth that is, to be a planar position, if you will. So,
precisely. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, real quick, chat. Miggy, I just had someone join 24/7 the panel. I told them to come over here. So keep an eye out for a new speaker. Should be joining us shortly.
Cool. You know who I was having a conversation with the other day, APOC, was Duncan Darth. You know,
that moron. Yeah.
Now he was on about, like, he just, because when I pop into 24/7 and I listen in for a little bit, usually there's a Glober in there saying some stupid shit. So he was saying that when he goes to his job, that he uses his theodolites to measure the Earth as a globe. And that was like, when I was listening, I was like, what an idiot, dude. Like, you're going to, like, in my head, I was like, okay, I'm going to listen in for a little bit more because this sounds interesting. So just listening to him saying that, well, you guys don't know that geodetic surveying is a thing, and we're measuring curve as we go along. And I was like, remembering the conversations that you had when you were talking to your that other friend that was measuring with John F. Kennedy. Is that right? The name of the place
at John Wayne Airport. Yeah.
John Wayne. I keep on mixing that up. John Wayne Airport. Yeah. But and how you told him about, like, how he did his measuring of transferring the line with rise over run. And then listening to him explain, Duncan Darth, and just hearing him talk about, like, him using the transferring the line using geodetic surveying and saying that you have to use curvature. And I'm like, oh my God, I had to pop in, dude. It was like I couldn't hold back anymore. I told him, I was like, so at what point do you account for curvature using the theodolite? I need you to tell me right now. I was pretty furious at that time because he's just a damn liar. He doesn't do that. Period. He never has.
Yep.
He's a liar.
Yep.
So, and he's like, of course we do. I was like, dude, and I was at the point, I was like, dude, I'm gonna ban you. Like, and every time I see your name or hear your voice, I'm gonna keep banning you. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna make it a mission of mine to always ban you when I hear you or if I see you. Like, so you need to be honest with everybody right now and tell everybody that you don't account for the Earth's curvature when you're using your theodolite. Now, I was like, I was on his ass, dude. Like, I didn't let go.
Hey, pause.
Yeah, so he came to the point where he was like, well, if you're doing a 1 mile survey and you don't account for it, you don't need to. And I was like, you fucking liar. Like, you see how you see it? He actually admitted it, dude, because he knew he had to.
Yeah.
Because somebody that works with that type of equipment can't say that. There's no way. You cannot say that you're accounting for its curvature.
Exactly. You'll never. A theodolite doesn't know curve. It knows the shot that you're looking at because through its crosshairs, and that's giving you an angle to it, and that's a straight line. That the theolite doesn't know shit. You're the person. It's a tool, right? But now I'll say this: if you have a total station and you have a shot and you press the little button for atmospheric refraction slash Earth curvature correction, then it has an algorithm in it, and it will literally give you a position and say, "Oh, well, then I know where I am at according to this curve that." We didn't measure physically, but I'm calculating it to. And that's when they go in, they write in their book, oh, this is where I'm at. And then they match it up with the NGS disk in the ground. And then they go, oh, yeah, cool. I'm right on point. I calculated it correctly. But that's why the importance of the John Wayne Airport, he transferred that line physically, not calculated it, not fucking guessed or, predicted. No, he physically transferred it. And it didn't comport. It wasn't the same because the Earth isn't fucking dropping. Simple as that.
So you're saying that plane surveying is measuring the Earth as flat, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what it's doing. No, that's why it's important that you tell these knuckleheads that say, "Oh yeah, we do it," from miles away. Okay, now do yourself a favor, and now transfer that line in increments. Okay, and don't account for refraction. Don't account for curvature. Just transfer it. And look at, by the time you get to the end of like 4,000 or 5,000 feet away, you're going to realize that your number, your measurement, it's not going to add up to the NGS disk that's in the ground. I guarantee you, 1,000%. It's not going to fucking add up because they're including a drop that doesn't exist and you transferring it benchmark to benchmark, leapfrogging it. You're going to realize, oh shit. The Earth didn't fucking drop down as I got further away from my position. That's why I laugh at these idiot surveyors that are fucking coming in Discords acting like they know something.
Yeah, we got Liberty Conservative coming up to the speaking panel. Yep. I don't know if anybody else wants to put some input. Hold on, Liberty Conservative. We'll get to you in just a moment. If anybody wants to put input on what we were just talking about, if not, I'll turn it over to Liberty.
All right, so what PowerPhone was trying to say is go to the nest, share, repost Nathan's info. I think that's what he was trying to say.
That's exactly what I was saying.
For real, that's a plug right there. 100's in the chat, guys, for plug to Nathan Oakley's channel. The information's up in the nest. 100's in the chat. Go ahead and see if up in the nest you guys can click on that link and support Nathan Oakley. Go ahead and follow him. Also follow everybody on the speaking panel, guys. Me as a host, Alpha Veritas. We got Creation Bear on the panel. You got Apocryphon, Flatsy Klein, Overlord, Beardman, Yakub Son, and we got now Liberty Conservative, who we're going to turn over currently right now. And listen, request to speak so we can have you come up here. But I'm going to ask you guys, when someone's talking, just sit there and listen. Don't interrupt. Because if you start interrupting when someone's talking, you're going to go back down to the listening panel. So just request to speak and then raise your hand. There's an emoji that you can click on that shows a hand sign and that stays on your avatar. So it shows that somebody who wants to speak will get the next turn. So just raise your hand. We'll go in order of people that raise their hands after the person who's speaking. So remember, guys, just be courteous and don't interrupt conversations when you come up to the speaking panel. So we're going to turn it over to Liberty. Oh, Liberally. Sorry. Said that incorrectly. Liberally, I'm turning it over to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the homie from Discord that just joined. Welcome, Liberally Conservative.
Liberally, yeah.
About flat Earth.
Liberally, if you're there, go ahead.
Might just have to iron out the kinks, but go ahead when you're ready, friend.
Does he know how to unmute himself?
Boomer detected. We also have two others that are requesting to speak as well. Mickey, if you want to check in.
Just kind of vet them a little bit. Go through their profile. If they have more than 10 followers or something, then I would say just be cautious when you bring somebody up because we got the porn bombers and whatnot. So always be quick to remove them as speakers if they're starting to.
Gotcha. Yeah. Looks like JBV's got some smoke for the Flat Earthers. He's reposting from Sly Sparkane.
Sounds good, man. Let's bring him up.
All right, let's cook, man. JVB. Is he JVP? Like not varsity? Okay. All right.
JBV, welcome to the speaking panel. If you're there. I don't know. Test 1, 2. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, you're clear, bro.
All right. So my question is that the typically accepted flat Earth model was a disk with a sun that orbited a central point, the North Pole. Now, I appreciate that not everybody has the same model. That being said, the final experiment showed a 24 hours of sunlight south of Chile. How is that currently being explained by the flat Earth?
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. I would like to be a bit courteous to our guests. So, Nathan, if you would want to engage with this individual, it's up to you.
So which part of the question do you want me to answer? The bit about a reified flat Earth pancake flying around the sun, or the bit about how we would explain it when I haven't made a claim about it? Which bit do you want me to tackle?
Either one, honestly. You are loaded with both.
But to the guy that was just speaking, so you've already kind of alluded to the idea that you recognise that you're offering us a straw man. So unless you've heard somebody here claiming that azimuthal equidistant North Pole centric globe projection you say was debunked, then it's unreasonable to put it to anybody here. But it seems like you already understood that because you're like, I understand other people might not be making that claim.
I think you're misunderstanding. What I was saying is that the typically accepted flat Earth model
I was in the middle
had a sun
in the middle of the same sentence.
In a circle.
Did I invite you to talk, sir? That is a question. Did I invite you to talk? Now he won't talk. That wasn't rhetorical. Did I invite you to talk when you started talking through me just a second ago, sir?
Well, you're misunderstanding my question.
I understood your question. I listened to it.
All right. Feel free to reply.
I was. You interrupted me. Now I'm asking.
Okay, simmer down.
When you interrupted me, now he's interrupting me again. If you felt like you'd been invited to talk when I took apart your straw man.
It wasn't a straw man.
So you felt compelled to debate me in the middle of me putting to you that I haven't got that claim, I haven't made that claim. If you can tell me when I have made that claim, you can defend the fact that it isn't a straw man. When did I make that claim?
Are you done ranting?
So is that an answer to me not having made that claim? It is absolutely without question a straw man. You seem to identify yourself in the process of saying, some of you might not say this. Yeah, that's a straw man fallacy. So in the middle of me pointing out that it's a straw man fallacy, which is absolutely still the case, you felt the need to interrupt to tell me that it wasn't because you were compelled to, not invited to. It is a straw man. You stupid man. Do not interrupt me when I take a giant steaming dump on your poor use of logic. Straw man, I didn't claim it. Otherwise, if I had, you'd have told me where I claimed it in that long protracted silence. When invited to offer it as my claim, you'd be rebutting. If it was not a straw man, Jay.
It was not a question to you specifically, Nathan, so calm down.
You shut up, you stupid globe-believing dick. Nobody invited you to talk. I'm addressing
Actually, yes, I was invited.
Nobody invited you to talk, you stupid man. They've had to be muted by the operators of the server. I'm still in the middle of answering you. You felt the need to tell me, not a straw man, through the top of me, pointing out the absolute use of a straw man you used. No, stupid dick.
All right, get to your point.
Contain yourself. Yeah? You used the fallacy. It's called a straw man. You want to say, no, it isn't. Yeah, it is. I didn't claim it. Nobody had claimed it. I know most of the people on this panel, we don't claim globe projections as flat earthers. Something else, I can see his mic wide open and him making little muttery sounds in his mic. He can't wait to talk. He's not listening to me. I mean, he claims globe projections. What you held up from the, final experiment? Which it isn't. Fraud. By a fraudster that you haven't identified. That's a globe projection. It's called the azimuthal equidistant North Pole centric globe projection. So if you're saying that doesn't work, what do you explain? Yeah, that's straw man. Burden of proof reversal fallacy. I'm not making any claims here. So you've riddled your questions with fallacy, Jay. Now I've broken down all of your fallacies. What I don't want to hear is some new question that ignores everything I've just ripped to shreds. I'd like you to thank me for identifying your poor use of logic, starting with the straw man you used. Nobody here would claim as a flat earther a globe projection, and that's what the AA map used in that garbage was, a globe projection. How could you possibly assert I'm claiming it when it's a globe projection? Straw man, hello?
Are you done ranting?
Can you get rid of him, please? I don't want to talk to this.
All right.
Yeah, you don't need to be here if you can't.
He's claiming I'm ranting. He interrupted me. I'm annoyed because he interrupted me to tell me it wasn't a straw man. I put it to him twice with him interrupting, telling me it isn't. He was keen to tell me it's not a straw man through the top of me. And now he's assessing whether or not I'm ranting. I didn't rant. I took apart your arguments with you interrupting, which annoyed me. And I had to raise my voice because he interrupted. And then because I've had to raise my voice because he's interrupted, he's asking me if I'm done ranting. That is what you call a glurf prick. You can't cope with his fallacies being ripped apart. Asks me about how my tone's doing. Am I ranting? No, ripping a glurf, a new asshole.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. We got some other people that look like they want to come up here. We removed that guy. We got Keon requesting to speak. Let's vet him, make sure that he's got enough followers behind him before we bring him up. Yeah, he does. Keon does have some followers. We'll bring Keon up. Remember, guys, if you do want to speak in here, you have to have more than one follower if you're going to be a part of the panel. So it looks like the other guy, Flat Earthy, is not coming up here. So, see, is Keon up here now?
Yeah, I'm up here. Thank you so much for the mic. Yeah,
go ahead, Keon.
Just a quick question. I thought flat Earth was dead. How are you guys still going?
Because it's measured flat. Earth is measured flat. So there's nowhere for me to go from a measured flat Earth. The globe believers who ask me that sort of question, under the misapprehension they've got a globe to stand on, when in reality the measurements I can't walk away from of Earth that are flat create the glurf belief you hold. So my question to you is, why are you holding on to a globe belief when Earth is measured flat to give you that belief? Why is he talking through the top? Is he the same as last guy? Or is it just me? This guy's talking before I'm done talking. Haven't taken breath yet. Asshole. Keon. Your glurf belief is based on the measurements of Earth that are flat and I can't walk away from them. I don't know why you'd think flat Earth's dead. No, it's measured flat Earth. Can't walk away from that. I'm now asking you in response, having answered you, why you'd believe in a globe Earth when the globe Earth came from flat Earth measurements. That's my response and question back to you, Keon.
Yeah, so who measured it flat and when did they measure it?
You could take any of your glurf proofs, for example. You could take Aristophanes' sticks and shadows. That's angle measurements, otherwise known as elevation angle measurements. You heard of Aristophanes claimed to be getting the radius of Earth with sticks and shadows? Those are flat Earth only measurements. They're called elevation angles. That would be Aristophanes, part of the origin story of your glurf belief. That's globe Earth belief you hold. That's based on measurements of an Earth that's flat with elevation angles, sticks and shadows, Aristophanes. That's a flat Earth measurement for your globe belief. I can do better than just giving you a flat Earth measurement. I'll give you a flat Earth measurement your globe Earth belief is based on. Right, so why would you believe, you haven't answered my question though, Keon. Why would you believe in a globe Earth given it's based on flat Earth measurements? You didn't answer me. You've asked a new question.
Yeah, because we have a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Yeah, no, we want to hear the answer to the that he asked.
The question was based on.
No,
so that doesn't really help. Your question was based on there being a 24-hour sun. That doesn't prove anything. Earth's measured flat. And I pointed out that Earth's measured flat for you to believe in. For your reification of a 24-hour sun on a globe, you need to measure a globe first. You don't. You measure a flat Earth and then create a globe in mathematics to suggest that this 24-hour sun would prove the globe you created with flat Earth measurements. You asked me what measurements. I told you of a measurement that came to give you your globe. Aristophanes, specifically. You haven't acknowledged it. You've then reasserted and rinsed and repeated question about why flat Earth would still be here in light of a 24-hour sun.
Yeah, we want to hear the answer to that.
Off mute, I'm still talking.
Yeah,
You haven't answered my question, Keo. You haven't answered me. Why would you haven't answered me? So I'll ask again, hopefully without you chanting through
Yeah, I'm answering right now. I mean, if you stop talking, I'll answer.
Why do you believe in a globe, Earth's measured flat?
Yeah, so Eratosthenes, he was a glober, number one. Number two,
No, that's not an answer. That's not a rebuttal. No, he measured Earth flat with an elevation. You stop him talking. He's got nothing except yammering through. It's just audio chaos rather than a concise demolishment of this dick. Keown, Eratosthenes measured an elevation angle. That's a flat Earth measurement. It's not a globe. He's measuring Earth flat.
All right. So how about this, right? So we both know that the 24-hour sun has
non-responsive.
So can I finish, or are you gonna?
No, that's non-responsive.
You've not responded to what I've said.
Yeah, so you want me to say what you want me to say, or can I say what I want to say?
Respond to what I replied to you with. You've asked me about the 24-hour sun. Well, how can you still be here as a flat earther? You asked.
Yeah,
there's a 24-hour sun.
I'm going to give you the answer.
You're repeating it. You're repeating it rather than acknowledging a single word that I've said. I've put to you Earth's measured flat, and then I've told you how it's measured flat for the use of your globe in your question about a 24-hour sun. To create a globe to suggest a 24-hour sun's above it, you need to first take measurements. Eratosthenes are the measurements. They're flat. I can't believe Earth is spherical when I know the measurements made by Eratosthenes for your globe belief. There's more beliefs than just globe and flat, by the way. But my belief is irrelevant. I don't have one. Earth's measured flat by Eratosthenes, so you can create a globe for you to believe there's a 24-hour sun on it. I've answered you 3 times. You just haven't acknowledged a single word in rebuttal in regards to Eratosthenes' measurement of a flat Earth to create a globe for you to ask me about a sun being above it.
Yeah.
Can you acknowledge anything I've said?
If you let me answer, then I will answer. But if you keep interrupting me, you won't get the answer.
Do not.
That's non-responsive.
Can I answer, or are you going to keep talking?
That's non-responsive also. That's not a response. Asking me if you
cannot.
So can I answer?
You're not helping.
Can
That's
I answer?
non-responsive. That's non-responsive again.
Can I answer?
I'm answering you by telling you your answer. Asking me if you can answer is non-responsive.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the response. So the guy you're talking about, he did the experiment. How long ago? 2,000 years ago?
Not an experiment. That's incorrect.
Yeah, how long ago?
Who?
When did he do it?
Eratosthenes, I'm answering you. Eratosthenes did not do an experiment. He measured Earth flat with elevation.
How long ago? How long ago?
Who cares? It's what you're basing the question on. You're saying Earth's a sphere and there's a 24-hour sun over it.
How long ago?
I'm talking.
You literally interrupted me first.
Okay. Dude. No, you say 24-hour sun because it's above a globe. I say, no, the globe comes from flat Earth measurements. That's where we're at. You're saying, how long ago? Sorry, historic fallacy. It makes no difference. It's your religion, not mine. Your religion has led you to ask me about why the sun's circling. Okay, the sun's circling. Who gives a crap? Oh, above a globe? Well, let's look at where the globe came from. Eratosthenes' flat Earth measurement is where it came from. Your religion's based on it. Why are you asking me about when he did it? It's your religion that you based your question on.
Yeah, so I'm just going to get to the point. So if you're saying that the Earth is flat and is measured flat, what you need to do is you need to organize an observation.
Why are you telling me what I need to do?
He doesn't need to be telling you.
Can I talk?
How rude. If I do this, I must do that.
So
go and paint my house. If you believe Earth's a globe, you go paint my house because I say so. No, don't tell me what to do. Who the hell do you think you are? I know Earth's measured flat. Eratosthenes measured it that way for your globe belief. Are we done?
I know you don't want to hear me.
No, you don't
really want to hear what I have to say.
It's the other way around.
Back what he said, I've heard him. Telling me I don't want to hear what you've said. No, I heard you.
Yeah, you didn't hear him. The problem is not the other way around, buddy.
I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to Nathan.
Yeah, but I can hear what's going on. You didn't hear him.
Can I finish my answer?
Oh, your answer to his question?
Your answer? There's only one question on the table. I answered you.
Yeah. I'm going to answer your question.
Why do you believe in a globe Earth when Earth is measured flat?
Yeah,
you haven't answered that.
So can you give me 30 seconds to answer?
I didn't get it through clearly. You're not listening. You're talking. I asked a question. It hasn't got an answer. Yours did. You think you've got the right to keep talking? Demand what I go and do now? It's rude. No. Answer my question. Why do you believe in a globe that Aristophanes created by measuring Earth flat for you to ask me about 24-hour suns above a measured flat Earth that Aristophanes created a globe with? Can you answer that? I've asked it 5 times.
Yeah, if you give me 30 seconds, I will answer. Like 30 seconds without you jumping in. Can I go?
Non-responsive.
Can I go? Can I go with my answer?
Asking me permission isn't answering why Earth is measured flat to your globe to ask me about suns being over. When I get to the end of my question, you keep asking for permission to talk. When I stop talking, I expect a response, not a question about whether or not you can answer me. Why do you believe Earth is a globe when that globe belief comes from Aristophanes in this example, because I've been asked, when I've answered you, from Aristophanes' flat Earth elevation angle measurement, sticks and shadows? Why would you believe in a Earth when you've got flat Earth measurements to back them? Those beliefs in a globe Earth. Go.
Right. So the guy you're talking about, he did whatever he did over 2,000 years ago. Unfortunately, we are in 2024 now, right? So if you say that the Earth is flat and it's not curving, what you need to do is you need to organize an observation.
Don't tell me what I need.
Can I answer the fucking question? I'm going to keep talking.
Shut him up. Shut him up. I don't want to be told by you, some faceless dickhead, what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be doing anything you tell me. I've told you how Earth's measured flat. You haven't responded to me. You've started telling me what I'm going to do to prove it ain't curving. It isn't measured to be curving by Aristophanes, so I don't need to do a damn thing. It's already been measured. Oh, you don't accept Aristophanes' elevation angles he calculated a globe into existence with. You don't accept them, too old. Well, then you don't accept your globe Earth, you stupid numpty. So you decry your own origin story of your own globe Earth belief then? Oh, well, bye-bye globe Earth for you. You don't want to believe in that story. Oh, well, there's plenty of other ways we measure Earth flat, sir. I don't need to do anything you tell me. I'll be telling you what to do. Bugger off and believe in a globe. You're an idiot. Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, he didn't have anything to offer. It was apparent.
It was so funny, though, because I'm over here like, just answer the question.
All right, we got J Duh coming up as a speaker. Welcome to the panel, J Duh. J Duh, are you there? All right, I'm just going to give a quick plug while he gets sorted out with his mic situation. Chat, we got 62 people right now listening in. 62 people. We need 100s in the chat. Everybody go ahead and follow Nathan Oakley. He's a special guest this day. So if you guys can go and do that. Also, more information in the Nest to follow any of the other places that Nathan Oakley is found, either on any social media platform. Thanks to Overlord or AI, he put that information in the Nest for everybody to look up. And also click on his profile if he has any links there for you to go look at some more material to follow him. But special guest today is Nathan Oakley. Hopefully he can frequent our show a little bit more. We kind of like that here. So everybody here, if you guys have any questions about the topic of the room, which is the final proposition, which is what we've been doing with the continuing series, or if you want to have a conversation with Nathan Oakley and form an illogical statement how the Earth is a globe via the 24-hour sun of what they went to go do with the final experiment in Antarctica. So if you guys want to have take a stab at that, go ahead and you can talk with Nathan Oakley for a moment. I don't know how long Nathan's going to be with us, but for however how long that is, we'll go ahead and do this chat. So go ahead, guys, if you want to go ahead and speak. We got J Duh on the panel right now. Go ahead, J Duh, if you're there. Or did he leave? I think he left.
In that case, big shout out to AI. I'm only here because he hustled and pulled a few strings to make sure I was in a position, dumb as I am when it comes to using this sort of software, to get me here. So thank you, AI. If you can, send me some links to this And when I publish this on my own channel, after the fact, obviously, I'll put all the links to hopefully usher people back to you. So the point that AI has done this is so that we have some cross-pollination in light of this 24-hour sun nonsense. People are coming and looking because they're intrigued. So I might as well cross-reference each other's platforms and cross-promote each other. So that's my intention. But thank you for having me. Thank you to AI for getting me here.
Yeah, appreciate your time, Nathan. Always a pleasure to kind of hang around your chats and have you come through and such. I think it's just like it's awesome that people get to hear, when they think they have an answer to come against you and see like there's nothing they have to offer. I mean, they've been doing it with 24/7, but it seems like it's so apparent whenever they come across to like try to present any information or an argument to rebut flat earth. It's just, you can see how they don't have an answer. The guy was struggling. The previous guy to that was hopeless. So it's just every single person that comes up here, it's just met with the same kind of thing. They're just gonna like have to prove it in some way, and they can't do it. So it's always amazing to me to see that. I mean, for one, I love to see that globe earth is failing on every front. So
now, okay, so Alpha Veritas loves a good selection of people to roast. If he's got a bunch of globers in here, he's got you by the short hairs, and you just don't know until you talk. Go ahead.
You roast flatties in here too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Good.
Because it's like we hold everybody to the same standard. You can't just be in here saying dumb shit, and I think that's apparent to everybody when some of the I call them esoteric flat earthers. I don't know what everybody else calls them, but
Nathan calls him Whitson.
You warm in my heart. Brilliant. We're all on the same page. You hate bullshitters. Great.
Oh God, it's so annoying when I hear them talking about like what the sun's made of, and we figured out a map on the map on the moon is telling us how the flat earth is, and it's so annoying. Some of the Twitter flat earthers, they dislike me. They call me a believer in what's it called? Oh God,
photons.
The particle, the photon believer or something. I don't know. They talk a lot of mad shit. They say that I believe in photons, and because they think that I'm more of like QE's protege or something. They're trying to make me seem like that, and it's like, no, I just don't like you guys talking dumb shit. We don't even have to
make any claims. They just go ahead and label it. We don't even make those claims. QE makes more claims than we do, is what we're saying. And we don't even have to make those claims. They already make all of their claims for us without us saying anything. And that's
their spaces grow to be 200 people in their chats, and they're talking utter nonsense. And to me, it's like nails on a chalkboard. I'm listening to a bunch of people talking dumb shit. So some of them, when I first came on X, they were coming in saying things, and now it's like it's a bit opposite. Now they're against those guys over there. Those flat earthers are they don't believe in anything. It's like, so you're gonna prove something with a question, like a question proof?
Yeah, but
it can't be. Exactly. It's got to be something. It can't be nothing. Really? How does that prove anything, man? Like you're not saying anything, and it's annoying.
This is the problem, because we don't get anywhere. They don't have anything, so we don't actually get anywhere. If they come in here, there's nothing to be had. They don't have anything. It always ends at what they believe. They believe something. Okay.
Yeah, Flatsy, it's got to be something. It can't be nothing.
It's always some sort of question proof. Exactly. So we don't have to look further past that, because if you can't give us some extraordinary evidence for your extraordinary claim, we don't have to accept it at all.
Yeah, flat earth believers, a lot of them, they come in here and they're standing proud on the fact that they just believe flat earth is what it is. There's no evidence. It's like, it's obviously true. Like, you don't have to say you believe in something that's true.
Where is there equipotential increase of voltage in the air? What is that measured from? Somebody give me the measurement of that. Can somebody do that? No?
Okay, right, we got D369 coming up to the speaker panel. 100's in the chat, guys. If you like the conversation right now, and our special guest Nathan Oakley. So, guys, we got D369. 100's in the chat. Emojis. If you guys thumbs up, if you like what's going on. Appreciate you guys joining in. Don't forget to follow everybody on the panel. A shout out to everybody that made it in today to today's episode, the final proposition, part 2.
Yeah.
It's a lot of spiraling going on. So D369, you're on the speaker panel. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you're gonna give me the answer to the question I asked, that'd be great.
I'll let Flatsy get her answer first, and then I can go.
Well, I don't think anybody on our panel was rebutting that. She's just asking that to the room, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not you specifically. If you want to answer the question, go ahead. But the equipotential increase of voltage in the air is what we were talking about before you came up. So I was wondering if that's the reason why you even popped up. But if you don't want to pop up for that, fine. That's great.
Yeah, no, I just logged back into here and put my hand up. I wasn't really in the conversation. I just had a question for Nathan. When it comes to plane surveying, and we're talking about using plane surveys over large distances, when you're doing the plane surveys and you go from, say, one city and you survey out, and then you go to another city and you survey out, is there a way we can verify these connections are actually level in the data? Like, is there a particular way we can do that?
Way to do that. They are level in the data. That's what the data is. You are measuring Earth flat when you survey Earth.
Right. I agree. I'm just saying, so, because what I would like to see is somebody maybe who's listening, who is good with these data apps and things like that, kind of go in and find the data that you're talking about. I use the same thing and just put it out in like a nice, is there a way we could just put it out in a nice way that everybody can,
We do. Yeah. What every measurement when you survey Earth is a flat Earth measurement. It is measuring Earth flat ipso facto. You're talking about elevation angles with respect to horizontal, depression angles with respect to horizontal, rise over run. Everything about the process of the measurement is measuring Earth flat. There's no, how do I show somebody that when we measure Earth flat, we're measuring Earth flat, is what you're asking me?
No, I mean, kind of, but I think people need to see like a large scale coagulation of this data put into like a single format that we can share in the community for everybody to kind of get on the same page with that.
I think it's pretty funny that he's sharing it with somebody that probably already knows the information, that you being that person, and he's sharing it with you the way that he is. I think that that's more telling than what you're asking him to do.
No, I think the only thing I'm saying is what Nathan's saying. It's obvious. D369. It's obvious. He doesn't need. What more can you do when it's already being done? It's obviously done. Like you. Why do you say that there's something more needs to be done?
Exactly.
Kind of like,
because it's already
the
very
average
clear,
person,
plain, and already on the table. Super simple and not complicated.
But it's not though, because for everyone who doesn't understand plane surveying, which is the majority of people, there is no way that you're just going to say, hey, it's been measured flat. They're going to look at somebody saying that and be like, no, it hasn't, because they don't understand it. So if the flat earth community would, I think it would be good if somebody could put it together in one format and maybe even create a model or visual based on the data to show people, visuals really affect people much more than talking about data points.
You know what? That's actually a good point. And just real quick, if I could jump in, because I've thought of that. There's this guy that creates, you can like just send him an audio file, and then I think he uses AI, to be honest, but he creates like a little cartoon to whatever's being said. And I was thinking of like recording my story with my boss / best friend and then he can like do like this visualization of showing like somebody using a theodolite, transferring a line horizontally, and then like showing that when you get to the end, it doesn't add up. And then like maybe some like little comical cartoon, like the guy like all like, what? Why isn't it adding up? And then showing that what it's supposed to be doing is dropping down according to the
No. Stop. I do apologize to interrupt. Just rise over run. Rather than telling people what it should do on a globe, I hate to interrupt the host, but by the same token, if you had a cartoon of what is rise over run, how is rise over run measured, something like that, you'd see how that would unfold for you, so you could present it to others.
Right.
But that's what we're talking about. That measurement is a flat Earth measurement, though. I can see what you're saying. You're saying if you just go, well, that's how Earth's measured. It's measured flat. They'll look at you like you're strange. Yeah, they might, but that's just a fact. They don't have to like it.
Right. That's what I was saying. That's what I was telling these guys too. Like APOC, like you don't like D369 he's trying to make a point. Like something needs to be done. It's all why?
I agree.
I mean, so it's already.
Why? I think because it would help the community.
I agree to that.
If we had a certain
but wait.
Show people.
No. What I'm saying is like it's already done. That's a practical way of how they're measuring the Earth. The raw data is collected by doing it that way. You can't just go out and say, I'm going to, how can we measure the Earth using planar surveying? And then
There's
attempt
no
to try to.
measuring Earth as a globe. You don't have that.
You're missing. You guys.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
You guys are missing the point.
You see what I'm saying?
No. Hold on. Just real quick. I get what D's 369 saying. He's saying that like to create like a visual, like that's what I'm saying. Like I thought about that too. Like doing a cartoon because
It's
unfortunately, here's why, Flatsy. I know, but no. Flatsy, I know that we get that. Flatsy, listen, we get that. You and I, Nathan, Alpha, we get that. D, we all get that, right? But there are people they don't get it, and that's what he's talking about.
It's great, but it's not incumbent upon us. Because here's the thing: it's not incumbent upon us to like hold their hand and say, okay, look, this is how it's done. The information is already it's already out there.
I know.
All they have to do is go like just hold on a second, man. All I'm saying is that the people who are lacking this information just need to go look into it. So in other words, all you got to do is point them to the obvious way that it's already done practically. There's no more labor that needs to take place.
I get
it's already done that way.
I get what
there is though, and here's why.
I don't see why you're insisting on trying to make it sound like we don't listen. Wait, guys, listen. You don't need to make. Hold on, Flatsy. You don't need to make a cartoon or something else. The Earth is measured that way. When planar surveying is done, it's done in that fashion. You don't need to do extra things.
No,
like make nice little videos and things. Like it's when you study this and you research how they're doing it, they're going to tell you the same thing. Every surveyor, they say this. The raw data measurements are taken from planar surveying. They're not doing geodetic surveying to take information for like how they're measuring the land. It's not done in that way. So why do we need to do any more work to make it like, let's kind of put it together in a package for these globers? Why?
Okay.
I don't get the why for that.
Okay,
like it's already out there.
I'll try to explain to you the why, but I would like it if I don't get interrupted, right? Nathan doesn't like being interrupted. I also don't like being interrupted. Can we just let me get 30 seconds and then I will stop, okay? So
28,
the reason
29.
The reason why the reason why is if I go to my sister and I'm trying to explain to her, she's not going to get it. I can tell her, hey, go look at this data. She's not going to get that data. She doesn't understand this stuff. I've researched it. I agree with you. From my perspective, I don't need anything else. We don't need to do it. But I think for the community, I think it would be good for us to do it. That's all. That's it. Normal people don't understand it.
Okay.
We understand it. They don't.
Okay. I would like to propose this to you instead. Okay. I want to say this instead. I want you to be able to educate people in another way. Another way meaning like you teach them how to process information instead of telling them what information out there is bunk and what isn't. You don't need to tell them what is and what isn't. You need to tell them how to differentiate what is and what isn't on their own. right? So you don't need to teach them about all of the aspects of Narnia. You could, and they probably will learn it along the way anyways, because they're going to want to learn how to probably argue their point of view, right? So the main thing that they need to learn are the fundamentals. It's not about how much they can learn about something that isn't necessarily provable. They can just stick to fundamentals, and they'll be able to dominate any conversation, because no one can refute somebody that's only giving you fundamentals or axioms or those things.
Yeah, but
all experience.
I'm just saying, Flatsy. Let's kind of. I think you're moving off the beaten path. Like we're sticking with what he was asking, which is a way to describe to the Glober how easy it would be to describe, planar surveying and like measuring the Earth flat in that way. It's like it's obviously like the practical way of how it's done. It's already out there for everybody to look at. So you don't need to. AJ, you have some backfeeding, brother.
Yeah, rise over run.
Oh, sorry, man.
Look at, if there's a specific measurement, for us, I don't focus on this. I think it's too small. They'll answer locally measured flat or some garbage. But aside from my preferences on what I like, if you want to use surveying and you want to explain to somebody, just go and look up how it's actually done. What is being used in terms of a horizontal coordinate system, and rise over run is what's being done when they're acquiring their measurements
Exactly.
and applying them to Earth. So if you understand rise over run, maybe you can bosh up a video and pass it on to your sister. Now, don't get me wrong, the way of phrasing is useful if there was this available for me to provide to my sister when I want to tell her Earth's measured flat. And she's like, well, how? Well, here's a video explaining how rise over run works. That's what you're asking for. And yes, I appreciate why you're asking. Good question. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to look into that, though. Exactly. Rise over run. Maybe there's something I can do with that. Appreciate you.
Pleasure.
Oh, rise over run is a big part of it. Yeah, it's from sea level. That's what we're always using. So rise over run is.
And that's what I was saying, that's what should be made into like a cartoon. Because some people are visual learners, and when they see it, even like comically, like a cartoon, like everybody learned like that as kids. That's the way you learn visually. That's a big part of our learning. Not everybody, but most people are. So like if you're trying to explain like, oh, this is why it's not like that. Well, if you can do like a little graphic, like a cartoon, like a little, like a little animation.
Anyone in this panel right now could just go ahead and understand that if they have to build something, they have to level the ground first. You need to be able to do that first before you build like a greenhouse. So if you're going to do some sort of greenhouse outside of your house, you need to level the ground first. Don't you? Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, but that's when it comes to people that are told from the globe side that surveyors are counting for curvature of the Earth. Like if you did an animation showing what they're actually doing, and then even
they're
including
measuring the Earth flat. Their own.
Yeah, I know. That's the point. That would be the
APOC, do you think that there's videos that are out there already that show that?
I don't know. I know. Well, hold on. Let me take that back. There's videos that are that show how they do it. That's true. But like there's an actual instruction video.
My husband actually
as well.
My husband actually works with theodolites and all that stuff. So all they do is measure the Earth level, by the way. So that's, I mean, if you really want to know what they're doing with theodolites, they're measuring the Earth level.
And
all right. Yeah,
go ahead.
No,
yeah, look, there is this information out there, Alpha, like you asked. I'm sure, just Google it, planar surveying. Look for a picture, go to images, you'll find it straight away. I mean, the information is very simple. Anyone can find it very simply. It's 250 kilometers square, which is 16 kilometers equal sides, where there's 20 meters of missing curvature. I mean, it's so simple. We don't need to link. Well, what I heard he was asking, if we were to survey one piece of land and then travel across the ocean and survey another piece of land, is there a way we can link these two together to show that these heights are level?
I think it's more. I think we don't. Yeah, hold on, Flatsy. I think it's more the case that he wanted, like, he's posing it to the group, right? Like, I think it's something that we can do if we can make a video or do something to make it like package for the Glober, so they can look at a presentation of something that we show is evidence of the Earth is flat, like in regards to planar surveying. But what I'm saying is, isn't there information that's already out there? All you got to do is pull it up. So to me, I think it's more of a case of
100%.
But what I was saying, what I was going to say though, Alpha, is you'll find them online, but are they from a position of just teaching what the theolite does only, and then showing that?
What I'm saying is,
because
you
they'll
can't
throw in the globe calculation.
I know, but
that's why.
But it doesn't, like, at some point they're going to have to talk about how the raw data is collected. So you can't. There's no way you can fudge that.
But
and say
we don't have to. We don't have to sift through their dumb stuff.
I want to boil this down, Flatsy. May I? Is that okay?
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
asking Alpha.
Yeah, go for it, Nathan.
Okay, so there's a flipping of a burden that's happening. So this is a factual statement, but when I state it like the guy who's asking this question, cool question D369, because it's caused this controversy, because the way you phrased it is correct. You've put it to us that if I just tell my sister Earth is measured flat when we survey Earth, she'll look at you and go, well, what about after they've measured Earth flat and calculate it into a globe? Can you show me how after you measure Earth flat and I measure Earth flat, you then extrapolate out a flat Earth from your measurements of a flat Earth? Because when I see you measuring Earth flat, we extrapolate out those flat Earth measurements out into it being a globe afterwards. So can you show me how on a bigger scale you extrapolate out flat Earth measurements into a vast flat Earth? And what Veritas and I and a couple of others are saying is, you don't have to. At the starting point, you're measuring Earth flat. So there's a term, and I wanted to put it, I think it was deep. Maybe it's the same guy, because it was a while back that this conversation started. There's a term, whistling past the graveyard. Yeah? We're measuring Earth flat with every process that's being described. If you just go and look how we use the tools for surveying, what is surveying? What do they actually do when they take a measurement of Earth? Well, they level their tool with respect to a horizontal plane of reference, so they can do rise over run in a flat coordinate system. It's all flat at every stage. There's no apologies needed by you as a flat earther. You don't have to explain anything. But for the fact that a glober comes along and says, after I measure Earth flat, I say it's a globe. Look how I extrapolate out these flat Earth measurements into being a globe. How do you extrapolate out the flat Earth measurements into being flat? Can't be flat when we've measured it flat. Yeah, it can. I don't have to explain anything. Exactly. No diagram or video is needed. We're measuring it flat. And if you ask your opponent, this is my final point, I promise. If you ask your opponent, oh, you're saying surveying suggests sphericity. Okay, take me through it and show me what they do when they measure Earth. And when they, that's your opponent suggesting this, not you, say, here's how they level their tool. Whoa. You don't have level on a sphere. Stop. What do you mean, step one, establish a horizontal plane with your tool? No, not on a globe. Oh, no, we just need to measure it locally flat first. We can all agree and assume that we are on a ball, but we're going to measure Earth flat first. You're okay with that, Flatty, that I and you will measure Earth flat now when we level this tool and establish horizontals to put onto 2D graphs? Then we'll make the ball assertion, and you'll have to explain why I'm making that a ball assertion with these here flat Earth measurements we accept as being cool to measure locally flat. Because that's just locally, right? No, that's just us measuring Earth flat. I'm done here. Goodbye, you stupid globe-believing numpty. Do what you like with the flat Earth measurements. I don't need to make a video. That's not directed at you, D. No offense.
the royal you, but yeah,
yeah, exactly.
100%, man. I mean, I that sentiment is exactly the way I feel about it. There's no way out of it. There's nothing more that. Why do we have to? It's like putting more work for us. Like, we are already telling you that that's how it's done practically. Why do we have to do more things? What more can we do? Like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, because they
Honestly.
want us to give us, they want them or us to give explanations, like in place of just descriptions. You know what I'm saying? We usually just describe what we're seeing.
Yeah, but it's demonstrated that way.
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
demonstration of how it's done practically by professionals everywhere on Earth.
It's
like,
fine
why?
because we're only describing what we see. We're not trying to explain it always, you know, so we can describe what we see. That doesn't require an explanation.
Anyway, yeah, it's the most obvious thing, and it's, I don't know. Sometimes I feel it's a bit boring at times. Like, we're talking about the thing that's obvious. Why are we? What's there to argue about? Obviously, there's some people that believe that's that way, but that's because they think things in fantasy land. We don't have to explain to them things that are done practically. It's already been done that way.
Exactly. We can just describe it. It's fine. We don't have to make a claim, and that's what drives them insane, is that we don't make claims. We just describe what we see, okay? So you don't have to make a claim. You can just describe what you see, what you observe, what you have in your pocket, okay? You know that you observe these things. You don't have to, like, answer to anyone against what you observe. It's what you observe. It's an axiom, literally.
We got 58 people in the chat. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. Once again, I do a little bit of plugs every time I can, in between every pause. So 24/7 Flat Earth, episode number 28, the final proposition, part 2. We're still asking people if there's any logical statements that they can put form to how the 24-hour sun has given proof to that the Earth is a globe, or if you'd like, disproving flat Earth. I don't really care. Just come up here to the panel and go ahead and tell me how that's possible. But go ahead and see if you can have a conversation with anyone here that's on the panel right now. We got Creation Bear, special guest Nathan Oakley, who's joined us. Don't forget to shoot him a follow. If you don't know who he is, you'll get to know him. He's all over social media, so he's got YouTube channels, and he does do some shows, I think, every day. Nathan, I don't know if you want to give a quick plug to your show and possibly give the listeners that are going to listen to this episode again. Yeah, if you don't mind, I would do as much promotion as we can.
So I run Flat Earth Debate. It's been running for years and years and years on the Nathan Oakley 1980 YouTube channel, where we run live debates daily from Monday to Friday on UK time, because that's where I'm running it from. It's 2 p.m. UK time that we kick off, and you can join the panel live every day. There's a link for the public to join and just come and do as we're doing here, I assume. You can join, you can ask questions, you can debate. It isn't a debate. Earth's measured flat, as you probably heard if you've been listening for more than 10 minutes. That's it. Nathan Oakley 1980 is the YouTube channel. I'm on Twitter and all the other TikToks and things, but my main platform is YouTube. So check me out on YouTube, Nathan Oakley 1980. All one word.
Hey, Mr. Oakley, I got a question for you.
Feel free.
All right. I've asked this question before, but I feel like this might be my only opportunity to ask somebody as well-versed as yourself. Are we all just mistaken, or is somebody lying to us? Because at what point, because I'm sure at some point there's a lie, because you've easily, figured out that the Earth is flat. So is, I'm sure, many others. Why is the narrative still a globe? And who's doing the lying?
So is your question, who's lying and why have we got a globe? Is that your question?
Yeah, why are we all taught to believe that the Earth is a globe?
Oh, because all schooling comes in this particular aspect from its origins in the Roman Catholic Church, when they created these mathematics of heliocentrism. So you're talking Copernicus, Kepler, and then later Huygens for scale. Those are the origins of the heliocentric, what you're calling lie. None of these people that created this mathematical paradigm, as it's now described accurately, intended to deceive anybody. They were trying to more accurately describe where the lights in the sky would be at given times. That's not an intent to deceive anybody 500 years later. How are we here now? I can go through the history of how we end up being here. But in terms of pegging anybody as a lie, there's very, very small numbers of people that I, on my show, can ascribe as being, quote, liars. Not very many of them. I mean, if you can point me in the direction of somebody who specifically lied to you about being on a ball, then feel free, you could be my guest.
Okay, well, maybe I might be looking at it the wrong way. To me, it all seems a bit nefarious that we still believe something from 500 years ago.
It's not really that
contradicting data.
I was leading him somewhere. Yeah, that's right. But you can believe whatever you like. The maths for describing where the lights will be, called heliocentrism, can and is reified into physicality by way of, what was that word? Belief. You're welcome to, as society.
Well, we're taught. We're not just belief, we're taught.
Still answering you.
Sure.
You're welcome to believe whatever you like. Now you're saying you taught it. Yeah. Doesn't mean you don't have discernment to recognize what is stories, fantasy, religion. All of those things are also taught to you in schools or by your parents or by your own discernment. But
I feel like you're being fair here. I feel like you're avoiding what you know I'm asking here.
No.
I'm in the middle of answering you while you tell me you feel like I'm avoiding you. Could you just shut up while I do answer you?
But now you want to shut me down because you can't directly answer the question.
No.
I am answering it. You're interrupting. This isn't a prolonged interruption to me actually answering.
All right.
It's the audience's benefit.
Never mind. Fuck the question. Fuck you.
Why is he now swearing at me? Triggered zealot.
I don't know.
No, you can believe in whatever you like, right? I'm not asking you to believe it. I know how Earth's measured, so I don't hold any beliefs in this regard. But this guy wants to ask me, well, how did I get tricked? That's what he's really asking. How could I have been so stupid? Surely someone's to blame. They taught it me. No, you had no discernment and you didn't look into it. You didn't do any investigation. That's on you. You want to know the truth of this matter? Eventually, to answer his question, I got there in a soft way, but he's decided to swear at me because while I was answering, he recognized the awful truth of whose fault it is. His. Yeah? You can't recognize that you didn't do enough research into it. You just believed what you were told, regardless of it having any primary source research logic applied.
Trevor, you're a Stephen Greer grifter. That's what you are. You're a fucking grifter.
Wow, dude, you are just giving yourself away.
I'm pointing out the origins of his answer. Told him it wasn't lies. He wanted to ascribe lies to it.
Why is it taught in school? Why is it taught in school,
You're giving yourself away.
I told you it came from the Roman Catholic Church. I've already answered this question. You're not listening to me. Roman Catholic Church gave it you. I gave you the people who gave it you. Kepler, Copernicus, Huygens. That's why the
American school system teaches you this. The British school system teaches you this.
Now, am I going to get called a grifter because I'm in the middle of not answering him, apparently, while he interrupts my answer to him about the Roman Catholic Church?
Please answer, Doug. So maybe I said the fucking wrong word that you can fucking do your speech on.
For me, it's just a triggered zealot. This guy's become a triggered zealot.
Not a triggered zealot, dude. What are you talking about? You know the question I'm asking. The audience knows what I'm asking you, and you're deflecting, just in your little fake intellectual way.
Are you done chanting through the middle of my answers? Because I'm done talking to you.
During the middle of fuck you, bro. I'm over it.
Bye. Thanks for running.
Yeah, we removed him.
Just to summarize.
Bro, who hurt him?
Summarize. I know this guy was triggered, and now he's decided to carry on being triggered while I actually summarized the answer he chanted through the first time, telling me I wasn't answering him. Nevertheless, I will try and conclude that answer, which is you can believe whatever you want. I know Earth is measured flat because I looked into it, having suspected that something wasn't quite right. Doesn't mean that the people who told me what they also believed and have been taught down the line to believe when they taught it me in schools, which is your question, doesn't make them liars, as you phrased your question. I tried to deal with each part of it by unpacking it. The nonsense waffle this sweary little man decided to put to me. Yeah, I heard him. Oh my God, I might not get another opportunity to chant and swear at the person I'm asking about your failures in recognizing your beliefs. You were taught in school. Yeah, the teacher didn't recognize me. They had a curriculum and they were paid a salary. As I grew up, I realized that they didn't actually do any primary source research for what was in the syllabus. The curriculum had no bearing on them and checking whether or not it was right. They just got paid to tell me that stuff. Literally, they were handed money. Amazing revelation for a dumbass that's going to swear at me. Dum-dum, you believed all this crap and now you want to blame the teachers? Call them liars? Well, aren't you stupid? I wouldn't do such a thing. NASA astronauts claim to be in a sky vacuum that violates natural law. They're definitely liars. If I was in front of Buzz Aldrin, I'd look him in the eye and call him that. Well, wait for him to what, lose his temper and punch me? No, he is a liar. I can call certain individuals who lie about being in sky vacuums liars. Your teacher isn't one of them. They were paid, and they had a curriculum. Where did it come from? The Roman Catholic Church. Now, as I found out through more research, it doesn't matter if you're a Muslim. In a Muslim school, you'll still get taught this Roman Catholic paradigm. Why? Because I've asked a few.
Yeah.
That's why. Because I travelled around the world and asked people after the fact, after knowing that it doesn't matter what continent I have been on. People are people and you can talk to them. They're easy to ask these things. So I asked them, were you educated in heliocentrism in your Muslim school? Yeah, I was the answer I got. Telling me that it's not just Western world from the Roman Catholic Church that got this garbage to believe in, as you did, and I did. It's just I can have some introspection and face my own failures and recognise my own beliefs, where you want to swear at me and shout and call your teachers liars. It's sad. Get a grip. Meanwhile, flat. Still getting interrupted while I try and summarise the answer to a complicated question that had a lot to unpack in it. But people are going to call me triggered because there's a capability within me to unpack numpty questions about beliefs and liars. I'm done.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry, Nathan.
It's a friendly fire. No, but you're spot on though. That's very, very true.
Yeah, I was agreeing with you every step of the way. Everything that you said is so true. It's just crazy how people don't see it.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's not they don't see it. They want to blame a boogeyman. And so, just like Nathan was pointing out, just because it was, he doesn't, now that in this conversation, he was realizing it wasn't a boogeyman he had to blame, it was himself, that he didn't realize that. So he didn't want to face that. So that's why he got triggered and called Nathan these names, because Nathan pointed that out. And it hurt him some way, emotionally, possibly. And now he's lashing out, making it sound like, Nathan's a bad guy. Why? Because he pointed it out? That's the obvious reason. No. There's no boogeyman to point at to say that some people are conspiring, because he wants that to be the case so he can feel good about himself.
Somebody's gotta be the bad
I wasn't deceived. I wasn't deceived. They deceived me. No, you deceived yourself, dude. Because now, when you could critically think about the question, you're still believing it. So it's your fault, not the boogeyman. So yeah, he pointed it out, and it hurt him because he now knows the truth. So he had to call him names and stuff, and I didn't appreciate that from him. That's what people do, man. They want to point to a boogeyman. Bree, I know you had your hand up. You probably fell off already. Go ahead if you want to say something.
No. I was just noticing how triggered these people have been coming in today, and it's been crazy. And, they have such a bad issue with just having formal or even just natural conversation skills.
Or not being...
And hold on, Flats, real quick. Let me finish, please. So, yeah, and I was just noticing that I don't think that... I think that we should try to limit ourselves when other people are speaking as well. Like, I know that we really want to, tell the Globers, hey, you can't say that, or you can't dodge the question, but when another one of our members are trying to get a point across, I think it's not going to help anything, if we're like dogpiling, because it's just going to make them more angry, more frustrated, because then they'll feel attacked when they're already being mansplained by somebody else, you know what I mean? So that's just one thing I was noticing, that I think it would help if we just let whoever is currently going at the person, let them just get it out and finish, and then we can, slide in and say what we need to, or what we felt we needed to. But besides that, the main reason I had my hand raised was because we're thinking about bringing back Ladies' Night. So if you guys know any female flat Earth women, then totally, like, you can hit me up on my Discord. I'll put my information in my bio here on X, actually. But yeah, you could also hit up AI. I think he's going to be the one trying to really organize it and stuff. But yeah, and it's good seeing you, Flatsy. I wanted to say hi to you, but I was like, oh yeah, there's so much going on. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, definitely. If you wanted to coordinate with something that happens on X so that you guys can get a little bit more following, hit me up as well. So you can do something on this platform, and then, I could just be here as a host, and then, whatever people come in, you guys can start your own thing and then branch off of there. So whatever you want to do, it don't matter to me.
Cool. I think that's more of a question for AI, though, so yeah.
Well, however you guys kind of work that logistics out. Yeah, so if there's anybody else that's in the channel, we're rounding out about almost close to the last hour. So if anybody wants to come up and have a conversation with us, go ahead. The topic, of course, is of the room right now, the final proposition, part 2. Part 1 was already done, so this is part 2. I don't know, we might get crazy with it and continue the parts. We don't know how long we're going to go with it, but probably until we get tired of it, which is probably never, because I like hearing the spirals of these globers think they have the answers.
Yeah,
so,
I think that it's a great thing that you should do. The final proposition would mean that these people have to come up with a logical syllogism for their point of view. They can't do that if they can't come up with some sort of premises first that would validate their conclusion. So let them do it. This is a great thing. Come on.
Just real quick, Nathan, I believe it was quite a few months ago. I had I'd said, hey, just wondering if you were interested, if somehow you could, simultaneously broadcast to X in the space and then you're like, I got too much stuff going on. I got YouTube and Discord. I don't know if you remember that conversation a couple months ago, but I'm still proposing that. That'd be cool if you still did that with a bot or however. How does he do it? Alpha, does he use a bot and the 24/7 Discord bot of YouTube, and then he just throws it on Spaces, right? It's not even hard. It seems very doable.
Are you talking about Helio?
Yeah, Helio. The way Helio throws it on, he takes the 24/7 Discord and he just throws it on Spaces, or he hosts it, right? And then it runs.
Yeah, the account is 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. It's in the listening panel. You can see it at the bottom.
Right. So
I think that's the one. When it's in here, it's broadcasting to YouTube. So
right, but then on the flip side,
how he does it.
But on the flip side, right now, if you go to your homepage, you'll see that 24/7 Discord is hosting. And then if you click on that, I don't know if he's recording this or even over there, just the 24/7, the politics one right now. But right now he's hosting on Spaces. 16 people are listening to that right now. But I don't know how he's doing it exactly, but it's not hard, obviously, because he's doing it. But I was just saying, Nathan, it would be just another extension of yourself, and it does get people, and it would build up traffic, especially going into your YouTube specifically. Because you could,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, on the flip side, if I was a listener on YouTube and I was thinking, oh well, how would I find my way to join this chat? What would they have to look for to find their way here to have this conversation with us? Because obviously, I'm recording this and I'll put this on YouTube. So at this point, somebody's going to go, I wonder how I would join this discussion.
Yeah, well, they would have to be here live now. If they were listening to it, you could put the link of what Alpha posted earlier, the 24/7
you could put something else other than you as some sort of listener that records the whole thing.
Let's try it. And then stop. Let's try it differently. Where are we right now?
We're at Spaces.
Yeah, Spaces.
So what we reposted, Nathan, Watch out! If you look in the either the pill, like they call it the pill, the bottom right, you'll see like where people are posting comments.
Yeah,
If you look,
I got it. Apocryphon. I got it. Right, you're not getting what's going on. I'm recording this, and all I want this to be is an appeal to my audience to find where I am now. Engaged with you. So
Okay.
we just need somebody to say, "Oh, we're on X Spaces," because somebody's answered, so that the audience, my audience, can pick up on what this conversation is and go, "Oh, I know what X Spaces is." Now, I don't. I have no idea. I'm just repeating what I'm asking. I'm trying to hint so that my recording's useful to cross-pollinate my audience with yours. And likewise, you're shouting me out through this whole thing going, go to Nathan Oakley 1980 on YouTube. He's awesome. And I'm like, right, but I'm recording this. I want my audience to cross-pollinate with you. And I just need someone to say, oh, we're on X Spaces. I don't really know what that is, but I do now because someone said it, so I can repeat it. But that's about all I'm good for. What else can people do to find their way here?
Yeah, I got you.
It's the hold on, APOC. It's the handles of people's names. So like the handle for my name would be AV_overdrive. I
was just gonna say that.
So or at AV_overdrive would be the handle that they would look to find my account, and then my account would have all the spaces logged into it. So like everybody's account has a handle, like on top of the name that you give yourself. So Nathan Oakley is the name that you have, but then your handle is the way they find you on X. So your handle is kind of like, it shows like your profile and everything. And then from that profile, they'll be able to find like the information you put on your profile, which would be the links to, YouTube and everything else. So your handle is kind of like a great way that they can find, me or you or.
Yeah, cross-pollinate. It's kind of like you're one of those honeybees and you want to cross-pollinate with another honeybee hive.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. So how they do that is they go to the main hive, which is 24/7 Flat Earth Discord, www.discord.gg/flatearth. That's us. All the info is there. All the people you're listening to, you can link up from there. We also have a sister server called Flat Earth Debates. That's the server that holds Nathan's show. You can go on there. They don't have a vanity link yet, so you're going to have to search them or get a link. And that's how you do it.
And in that Discord, they'd get links to places like this, which is X Spaces. Gotcha. So the main hub is Discord, and that's Flat Earth 24/7 Discord. That's just not pronounced right.
And you can go to mine, but you can also
go.
How am I saying the
24/7 Flat Earth Discord. That's the name of the server. We do have a vanity link, which is just a simple discord.gg/flatearth.
That's 24/7. 24/7 has a vanity link.
24/7.
Well, good news. Yeah.
Discord.
Yes.
Correct.
Perfect.
But I did want to add that if you follow me, you see QE's live streams, like Quantum Erasers live streams, because I always share them, and all that's on my profile.
Perfect. But just for the benefit of my audience, so that makes perfect sense, because that's actually how I've got here, right? So I've gone in, and off the back of being told by AI in Discord that he's holding an event, and obviously the host of the event is a bit like my Google Plus when I hold it for my panel. Well, we're in X Spaces now to hold that. But the way I got my link was through Discord, which is 24/7, which is 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. And that's where you can find the links to places like this, and indeed probably to my show if someone's sticking that in there. Who knows? But in either event, that's how hopefully we'll increase each other's audiences, which is the purpose of this. But this is also going out on X itself, is it not? As it's being recorded, it's
correct.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, cool. Very cool. I love it. It's my first time doing this, so I'm obviously a bit green. But yeah, cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So it's recorded and archived here, and then Helio restreams it to YouTube, where it's recorded and archived as well. There's live chats there. There's obviously chats here. Also, there's good news on the Flat Earth Debate server. You actually reached critical mass for boosts, where now you guys can have a vanity link. So I'm sure Righteous will produce that for you
Hey,
in the
that's
next
so
coming
cool.
days. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Well, I've got to toddle on because my kids have become little sods after several hours of me not obeying our regular routine. But it is close to Christmas, which is why I can't actually do this in the first place. So I've got to thank you very much for having me and toddle on and say farewell. But thank you, especially Alpha and Apocryphon AI, I don't know who else to thank in moderation terms, but you guys have been great.
Good to have you, brother.
Thank you, Nathan, for dropping by. You're welcome anytime, brother.
Always good to have you.
I don't actually know how to leave. How do I? Oh yeah, there is a button.
See ya, man.
Later.
No one leaves.
Hundreds in the chat, guys. Emojis, hundreds in the chat. If you like what was going on,
stuff.
Today's episode was fire. I mean, we had good conversations. We had Globers being shellacked, and we had people trying to come in here and talk about the final proposition, which is what we've been doing, a continuing series of part 2. So we're still moving forward and going strong. So we're going to go on for at least another good hour or so for the rest of everybody who's just joining us right now. We're entertaining people coming up here to the speaking panel and talking with us. We got 55 people that are in this chat right now, either listening or participating within the chat. And we also got live listeners on YouTube. So everybody's welcome to join. Don't forget to follow everybody that's in this panel right now. Of course, we had Nathan Oakley who dropped by and joined us. Don't forget to follow him on X. He just opened up his account, so he's got some followers. But go ahead, if you're just joining us right now, drop him a follow as well, so we can get some people populated on his profile. But I appreciate everybody who's joining us, man. We had CB. I don't know if you're still with us. I might rotate some co-hosts and get some new co-hosts up here for the last hour and such. But we do have some people that have been joining us and having good conversations. So Jedi's just joined us right now. Morning, brother. And I think, today's episode was a hit. So I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, it was good, man. It's good to see Nathan in here. It's always fun to hear him talk to people. That's for sure.
And I'll take CB's non-response as him maybe falling asleep. So I'll remove him from the
I've
co-host.
been there. So maybe. I've been there several. Oh, there he is. He's back.
No, I removed him. So.
Oh, okay. It was really glitchy because I see like a lot of people just as listeners. I don't even see anyone as speakers. So once again.
Well, I got a new phone and new headphones, and it's actually working for me this time. First time ever.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to invite you to a co-host, AJ. Let's see if you got that. An APOC co-host.
Okay, cool. Hey, AJ, I bet you got a new phone with that climb in Bitcoin. Congrats.
Yeah.
It pulled back, man. So you might want to accumulate right now. It's the time for accumulation.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually still in a trade, so I've just been buying the dips on that one. I'm in a fairly big dip. One. So I'm in about, I don't know, $150,000 trade at the moment. So I'm a little bit...
Let's freaking go!
A little bit down, but I'll just keep buying the dips. No, man, I bought one of those Samsung Galaxy flips, and you fold it open like a book. It almost gives you an iPad screen.
Interesting. We got a lot of interesting people in the listening panel right now. If you can go take a look at who's joined us.
Yeah, this former flat earther and this other one. This almost seems like the same person. They have 3 following, or 1 follower and 3 following. It's like it's 2 soccer accounts. I don't know. I'm not sure who it is though.
Don't bring up that.
Yeah, I did it.
Vet the freaking. You gotta let that one person come up here.